What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A+ More Phenomenal, your weekly stop for your Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider review and news right here on our YouTube page, A+ More Phenomenal. Thank you very much, guys, for certainly joining us. Going live today, also live over on our Facebook page for those of you who certainly watch us over there as well. But it is, in fact, June 12th, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday. Certainly hope your Saturday has certainly started off right. It definitely has for me an opportunity to spend my weekend with you guys, sitting down, talking some Power Ranger news, some Tokusatsu news, and of course, getting to your guys' live viewer questions and any discussions that we wind up getting into the live chat today, guys. So thank you very much for certainly everybody joining us here today. Some quick shout outs for everybody that is in the live chat. Johnny Marrero certainly coming through today. We got Adam Perea in the house. Thank you very much, man. Says, hey guys, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. We got Power Rangers Legacy in the house. He says, what's up, Adam? You know what time it is. It's morphin' time, as it is every weekend here, guys. Who else we got in here? Adrian Perez says, hey, everyone, your boy is getting married in a few weeks. Congratulations, man. I'm still waiting for my invite in the mail, but you know what? Congratulations, Mr. Perez. It's so good to hear. Love is in the air today, I guess. Who else we got in here? Dino AJ. What's up, AJ? Certainly coming through today. We got Blossom in the house, guys. Jaden certainly is gracing us with his presence today as well. You know what, guys? I got to tell you, it creeped up on me a lot sooner than I thought it would. But Dino Fury is back, guys. Dino Fury is back. That's right. This upcoming June 15th, which is what, this Wednesday. Right. Let me just double check my my calendar here. Let me see. The 15th is actually on a Tuesday. Excuse me. I'm about to sit down on Wednesday waiting for Dino Fury, and I'm about to miss all the 3 episodes that wind up dropping because June 15th, Tuesday, is in fact the return, guys. That talk about a nice little breakup of the hiatus, if you will. I'm really eager to go ahead and get into some news, or I should say, some new episodes, and we definitely will be doing a little bit of a preview for episode number 9 later on today as well. Who else we wind up gotten in here? Hey, ladies, what's up? Good to see you, Alec. Good to see you in here as well. We got Edward Sanchez Productions in the house. Thank you very much, man. Let me see. Power Rangers Legacy says, is it me or Hasbro seem to be making more MMPR toys than Dino Fury, which is the newest running season? Maybe they have plans for Dino Fury that were unknown at the time. But yeah, I mean, Hasbro absolutely loves its MMPR toys. I'm kind of glad that I'm not a toy collector, just so that I personally don't have to get as stressed out as some other people. But I can definitely understand the issue with wanting your Dino Fury toys, right? Especially when you have such a great season so far. You got to build off of that season. Have we gotten any Dino Fury toys as of yet when it comes to Lightning Collection? You guys let me know what they have so far. We got Izzy the Gentleman certainly in the house. Alexis is in here as well. Thank you very much. JB says, what is here today? And of course, we got Tony Robinson in the house also, man. Thank you very much, guys. It's good to see each and every one of you, as always, coming through in our live chat. We got a couple of topics that we're going to be breaking down for you guys today. Hasbro Pulse had a Fan First Friday. That's a tongue twister sometimes, guys. A Fan First Friday as of yesterday. So we're going to be highlighting all the pink in their pink collection that they went ahead and revealed to us yesterday. So we'll talk about that. We're definitely going to be getting into some Power Dino Fury episode number 9 preview as we get ready for it to go ahead and debut on Netflix this upcoming Tuesday. We got a short little segment of Simon Says for you guys this week, followed by some Power Ranger apparel, and of course some Tokusatsu news for you guys, whether that be Super Sentai or Kamen Rider or even Ultraman. We definitely have it all here for you guys today. But listen, if you definitely want to make sure that you have a question for us that gets answered live on air, you can go ahead and submit your questions over to us at any particular point in time at A+More at gmail.com. Again, A+More at gmail.com. You can send them anytime during the week. If you're watching an episode, if you read a news article, if something grabs your attention, feel free to go ahead and submit your question over to us. Again, at A+More at gmail.com. And we'll go ahead and get to your questions at the end of our episode, just in case if for some reason we happen to miss you guys over in the live chat. But we will be bouncing in and out from time to time, so certainly don't worry about that. Who else we wind up getting in here? Brian Brian, what's up? Brian Lee, good to see you in here. Thank you very much. He says, is Zenkaiger will team up with Gokaiger. We might have something for you guys here. We definitely have an announcement in regards to that, one that I certainly was not expecting, to certainly say the least. AJ says, wait, there's a preview for episode 9. I think I'll wait till the episode airs on Netflix. I want to be more phenomenal surprised. Yes, over on Twitter, the official page for Power Rangers did go ahead and release a preview for episode number 9, which we'll go ahead and talk about here in just a little bit. Shadow Nova Production certainly joining us in. You made it just in time. You made it just in time, Shadow Nova, because we're about to go ahead and get into this week's topics. So since there's so much to talk about in regards to the Hasbro Pulse, especially for you Lightning Collection fans, let's just go ahead and start kick it off right with really the biggest news that we wind up having here this week when it comes to Power Ranger fandom. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I didn't watch this live. I did not watch this live. For me, I'm starting to pick up on on how they're doing things at Hasbro a little bit. You know what I mean? When it comes to these smaller Fan First Fridays, I'm really starting to understand that these are specifically, it feels like, just for Lightning Collection and toys and things like that. Maybe when Hasbro has the bigger sort of fan fests, if you will, when they start highlighting like Ghostbusters and Transformers and G.I. Joe and Power Rangers, right? That's when I feel like not only do we get toys, but we also get TV and entertainment sort of announcements. So going into the June 11th Fan First Friday, I just didn't think it was going to be for me, just because of the fact that I realized it was probably just going to be mostly Lightning Collection toys. So while I personally didn't watch it live, I did eventually go back and watch it, just because of the fact that, we've got two great hosts in Emily, along with Loretta, who work not only in marketing, but also in designing for Lightning Collection. So props to the two ladies for doing a great job of hosting as of yesterday. The idea of hosting live is never easy, but the fact that they pulled it off, again, kudos to them for doing a great presentation yesterday. Even though necessarily some of the Lightning Collection stuff isn't necessarily up my alley, I thought it was really great to get them to get the opportunity to showcase a ton of pink. I think they themed it as Pioneers in pink, really highlighting the very early sort of Pink Rangers that we've had in our lives, from Kimberly to Catherine also. And listen, again, while I'm not a Lightning Collection collector, online I do see people complaining. I do see some people happy with some of the designs. Some people really continue to be upset that they're certainly still focusing on MMPR, which I understand the frustrations. I will say this: I am appreciative of Emily and Loretta also at least explaining that there will be other pink Ranger characters that will eventually get their release, but based off of their theme of Pioneers in pink, they really want to kind of start off at the very beginning. So some people, maybe you might think you got doubles of certain things. I believe like the 2-pack that, some people were like, well, I already have MMPR, but I think they kind of made it a point in here to say that this was, for Catherine at least, the only like non-shiny Pink Ranger figure of hers, if you will. So I guess if you have Catherine in pink, but maybe, in the metallic or whatever, I don't remember what color, what shiny one they were referring to, but maybe you've got that and you've got the MMPR Kimberly. I don't see a problem with putting in another MMPR, but for Catherine as well. I personally don't see the problem with that, especially if there's not just a solo plain Pink Ranger Catherine out there already. Then I think this kind of works as a pretty cool two-piece. But, clearly, listen, there are other Pink Rangers that I'm quite fond of, whether that be Cassie from In Space, whether that be from Jen from Time Force. I mean, they've kind of already given me my Ranger Slayer pink that if I am going to pick up any pink, it's probably going to be that, maybe even the metallic one. And there's actually even one that they highlighted in this Fan First Friday that I'm kind of interested in also. So we'll see what happens, guys. I'm sure there's plenty more of toys for them to go ahead and roll out, but I get the idea of maybe some people being tired of the MMPR figures over and over again. Like, how many times can you do it? But listen, when you've got a ton of different versions out there, right, from the metallic to, I'm still asking for the Wild Wild West Cowboys MMPR crew. If I can get like a 5-pack or a 6-pack of that with the White Rider or whatever his name was, I would be completely down for that also. So there's still plenty more variations of MMPR to certainly go, but we'll definitely have to see what happens. But yeah, Emily and Loretta certainly came through, and let's just start highlighting some of the stuff that they posted already. Now, just so you guys are aware, I believe all this stuff is currently available for pre-order. Some of them, I believe, are all available on pre-order for GameStop. I think there's limited quantities over at Hasbro Pulse that you can pre-order these from, and I believe a limited quantities also if you're a Hasbro Pulse premium member as well. So I heard some people talking about the idea of saving money is probably best to be a premium member, but unfortunately I'm not quite sure. But these are hopefully available still for pre-order, I'm assuming, just based off of the quantity. So just to give you guys a heads up. But first item that was spotlighted, and we're probably going to be going out of order in here, but they're really getting into the whole cosplay aspect of things a little bit more. I mean, they're continuing to build their Morpher collection along with their helmets in here, and this time around we get the opportunity to see the Pink Ranger Morpher highlighted. You do also get the traditional other power coins that certainly come along with it and make sound effects. It's got lighting attached to it as well, but they did also state that if for some reason, if you didn't want to display sort of the other Power Ranger coins on your display, I believe it also comes with like pictures or photos from the transition, I'm assuming from Kimberly to Catherine, from the early Pioneers in pink, if you will, that you can put those pictures where the coins certainly are if you didn't want to display the power coins for the other Rangers also. So some really great just sort of box designs and things like that you get the opportunity to showcase. Here's another photo of it with the lighting, with it lighting up. Again, it does also have phrases that it winds up saying as it's activated and things like that as well. Let me see how much, let me see if there is another site that I went to that showcased the price of it. It looks like it's retail price is $49.99, normally available August 1st, but I'm assuming if anything, you can go ahead and actually probably pre-order this ahead of time, if you will. So definitely go ahead and check it out for yourselves. $49.99, but yeah, the Pink Ranger now in fact has herself a Morpher, so I think that's pretty cool. The next one that they went ahead and highlighted was their helmets. This adds to the, I believe, the Red Ranger helmet that they have out there, along with the White Ranger helmet that they might have. So this is the third in their series, again pushing the whole cosplay aspect. You've got the I don't know if you can see it in, yeah, you can see it in this photo. You got the clips on the side to go ahead and be able to close the helmet and things like that if you'd like to. You can see through the visor as what Loretta and Emily wind up saying as well. I love the design. Look, I've always been a big fan of MMPR's pink design with the pterodactyl on the helmet. So I think this is really cool to be able to go ahead and showcase just on your mantle, or if you want to wear it for yourself, combined with the Morpher that they wind up having in here. Also, great cosplay features for you cosplayers out there. We are getting back into the whole convention scheme, right? Conventions are starting to open up. Power Morphicon is going to be live in person next year in 2022. So start getting your cosplays ready, guys. And I think this is a great addition to it. This one, price-wise, what do they have this down for? $79.99, available August 1st. But again, it is available for pre-order if you guys want to. The next up was, in fact, going to be the 2-pack that they went ahead and revealed to us, as we get to see versions of Catherine here, whether that be her MMPR version all the way up to her time in Zeo. Now, I heard some people also kind of saying the fact that they kind of felt that maybe when it comes to Catherine, the idea of a Zeo and Turbo pack would have been a little bit better. I would have been perfectly okay with that as well if that's the route that they certainly wanted to go. I am wondering if they're trying to hold off on maybe a Turbo Catherine, or maybe because of the fact that when it comes to Turbo, they do hand down the mantle to Cassie at some particular point in time. So maybe they have plans for a Cassie Turbo in pink, or who knows, maybe they've got, I was going to say, maybe they've got a 2-pack of both Turbos. I have no idea, honestly, but I certainly will say I would not have minded seeing Turbo and Zeo in this pack, but since they wanted to go ahead and be able to give the fans a non-metallic or non-shiny version of Catherine, they go back to the classic MMPR design. And they also show they also have the cat here that that Catherine initially introduced herself as, was it Park Cat, if I'm not mistaken. So they also have that as part of the 2-pack. A great box display, if you ask me. I think it looks pretty sharp. And then they also went ahead and posted some professional photos of this 2-pack as well, which I absolutely love the background. Like, whoever designs and takes these photos of these action figures are incredible. Like, for me, I think that would be something that I would probably get into. Like, if I were to go ahead and collect these action figures, it would all be about posing and taking photos of them in really cool scenery and background. So I love the way that Hasbro certainly presents their Lightning Collection stuff when we get it. So great looking pack. I think the pack looks great. I'm sure some people will probably purchase this anyway, despite maybe already having an MMPR Catherine in some form or another. But if this is your only means of getting Catherine in Zeo, definitely go ahead and chuck down the $39.99 that it's going to cost for this double pack. Because if you ask me, I do think that it looks pretty sharp to say the least. But that wasn't the only Pink Ranger that we wind up getting. Not only do we get our 2-pack, we got our helmet, we got the morpher, but we also have a cell shaded Pink Ranger, guys. This is supposed to be sort of that that feeling you get if a Power Ranger was sort of ripped right out of the comic book. So they definitely went for the more a cell shaded kind of look, if you will, because no, that's not just lighting effects. Those are actual like decals and painting and things like that they actually went ahead and put on the figure to make it look like it was literally ripped right out of the comic book. You can also see the packaging here as well. Even the packaging, the print of the Pink Ranger has the same effects that you can kind of see from the cell shade on there. Also, anytime I think of cell shade, I go straight to Zelda for some reason. Was it a Wind Waker back in the day from like GameCube and things like that? That anytime cell shading gets brought up, that's for some reason that's where my head goes to, back to the Zelda days. But we also get the opportunity to see her in action here, posable and everything. Again, I do think that the little cell shading effects just really go a long way to make this this character pop, because I absolutely love its design. Because just from an actual professional photo with a background, it does kind of look like something off of a comic book page that's been like cropped out and just like pasted onto this background. I think the paint job looks pretty well, looks pretty good. Now we'll see what happens when we actually get ourselves the actual figure, because I know some people have complained about some of the quality control, some of the painting, whether that be color schemes or designs being a little bit off from what they actually showcase in these fan first, or what's actually showcased like on the box type of thing. So I'm really hoping that when it comes to this cell shaded MMPR, that it looks as good in person as it does on screen, because I feel like this is probably one of those figures that you can easily mess up when it comes to quality control. So I'm going to definitely be keeping my eye out on this. But if there was anything, like, I don't know if I'm going to go out and necessarily get, say, the double pack of Catherine in that sense, but I definitely would probably pick up the cell shade. The cell shade most definitely. Now, if Pink Zeo was certainly if Pink Zeo was definitely sold separately, then yeah, maybe I would, but I don't necessarily know if I would need me a double pack in regards to it. But we'll see what happens. I think again, I love some of these designs that we've seen. Again, the cell shade, we got the 2-pack here of Catherine, we got the sweet looking morpher along with the helmet as well. So yeah, I listen. While, again, I didn't necessarily watch it live, I know some people were very much underwhelmed. You know, I don't know if they were underwhelmed because they were expecting more announcements, or if they were expecting maybe a wider variety of Pink that they certainly had to offer. Again, when it comes to announcements, I've kind of changed my mindset a little bit for these little Fan First Fridays. I feel like they're more pushing towards action figures and toy sales and things like that. So my enthusiasm now comes with the bigger fan fests, if you will, that Hasbro Pulse usually does. But listen, I want to know what you guys think. You know, for me, I guess because of the fact that the theme alone was Pioneers in pink, I get why they went ahead and did the whole Catherine and Kimberly thing, but I definitely would understand your disappointment too if you went in here thinking that they were going to be highlighting a ton more pinks, because there are definitely a lot more important pinks in the Power Ranger lore, to certainly say the least, that I definitely do think will eventually get highlighted. But I think people are going to continue to get frustrated at maybe the speed or the pace that Hasbro winds up actually putting out some of these quality figures. So we'll see what happens, guys. Again, there are plenty more that I'm sure a lot of us would certainly like to see. But for the most part, with this being the Pioneers in pink theme, what did you guys think about some of the reveals and announcements that we wind up getting, whether it be for the cosplay stuff or the figure stuff? I definitely want to go ahead and know your guys' thoughts. So again, this is coming from a guy who doesn't collect Lightning Collection. So maybe my enthusiasm level or disappointment maybe not necessarily be on the same place where you guys definitely are, but I definitely want to know what you guys think, especially if you go ahead and actually collect these figures. Is there anything that you would like to see Hasbro do a little bit differently, or what are you certainly waiting for? I definitely would love to know your guys' thoughts. So let's see here what we wind up having. JB says, what says, look, I love Kim, but we got to move on. We got to move on. I understand that. I understand that. Blossom says, the only Lightning Collection Ranger I have is Rocky. I'm kind of curious, is there any other ones that you would certainly like to see out there? Like that you would actually be willing to pick up if they went ahead and released? Datilla says, I can't believe they released so much pink stuff. Didn't Zordon say too much pink is dangerous? Yeah, somebody, hey, listen, there's a ton of Pink Ranger fans out there, you know. So if you need to add pink to your apparel or to your cabinets or your figure shelf, I definitely understand. JB says, what says, I do want Zeo Ranger 1. So hopefully that happens if it hasn't already. Marcelino, what's up, Marcelino? He says it kind of disappointing that Hasbro Fan First Friday didn't have any teaser or mini trailer for Dino Fury coming to Netflix. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that as a disappointment, you know, especially based off of it about to go ahead and actually debut this week. You know, I will say this: it didn't. I don't want to say it surprised me, because I feel like even on the previous one, we were kind of hoping that maybe we would get that sort of formal announcement of Dino Fury being on Netflix, and we didn't get it previously, even though the news had already been dropped. So it doesn't surprise me, unfortunately. Do I think it's a missed opportunity? Absolutely. I mean, if you're highlighting Power Rangers of anything, I don't care if you're not even talking about Dino Fury. I think the idea of bringing attention to your product is 100% important. So it does make me scratch my head as to why that's certainly not being done. But, you know, we did have at least a preview wind up dropping here today. But listen, you know, the one thing that I've said before is that when it comes to, you know, people talk about Nickelodeon not necessarily being the best when it comes to promoting their work. I mean, I don't know what people expected from Netflix either, you know, and not necessarily always 100% on Netflix, but it also is on Hasbro as well, to be able to have to promote their stuff as well. But I would have thought they probably would have announced it, or at least teased the upcoming, like, hey, don't forget, guys, you know, but they didn't even make mention of it, now that I think about it. Hi, ladies. Says Fan First Fridays are going to be focused on Lightning Collections more until something happens in the show. Yeah, and again, like Marcelino said, like in regards to the trailer, I don't even necessarily think I needed a trailer for Dino Fury coming to Netflix. If the idea of at least, can I get a promotional artwork piece? Can I get a quick pop up and, you know, the host like just remind us as, you know, Power Ranger fans, don't forget, guys, Dino Fury is going to be dropping on Netflix June 15th. It would have taken 5 to 10 seconds out of their stream to at least highlight that, along with the Netflix promotional photo that we wind up having. You know what I mean? So I am a little bit surprised that they certainly didn't do that. Like, at the end of the show, they just going to be like, and guys, by the way, June 15th, Dino Fury Dino Fury season 1 drops on Netflix June 15th, this Tuesday, guys. You get 3 brand new episodes 9 through 11. Go ahead and check it out. Boom. That's boom. And we're done. You know what I'm saying? Wrapping this thing up. But you're right. Hey, ladies, when it comes to Fan First Fridays, very much so the focus definitely is going to be on Lightning Collection. And that is a lesson that I've certainly have learned the hard way by having my own expectations be up here, right? Trying to talk about what I'm expecting them to show or hoping that they certainly show. And they kind of drop the ball each and every time. So I realized that that's not necessarily on Hasbro as is so much on me in regards to getting my expectations way too high, when I have seen a couple of Fan First Fridays that really have only talked about Lightning Collection stuff. So again, I do think I agree with you. Hey, ladies, I think when it comes to Fan First Fridays, those will focus more on toys and Lightning Collections, whereas maybe the Fan Fests that they have, the bigger overall gatherings of all their properties, will probably have a combination of a little bit of everything, you know? So yeah, it definitely has its benefits and its downsides, unfortunately. Datilla says, I don't collect Lightning Collection, but I would get this particular collection. Yeah, I mean, some people are just big fans of the color pink, and they got to have everything pink. You know, maybe I know some people are over MMPR and Kimberly, but you know, some people have really close attachments to these characters. Like, even during the Fan First Friday, getting to see just how impactful like Catherine and Kimberly had on Emily and Loretta, just hearing some of their favorite Pink Ranger moments from the beginning of the season, I thought was pretty cool to kind of see also Loretta's like resentment towards Catherine a little bit. Like she's harboring something still deep down inside in regards to her fully accepting Catherine as a Pink Ranger. Like, even though, yeah, she's like, you know, all right, she proved herself, I guess. But there definitely is a deep pent up, you know, something towards Catherine here that I think Loretta definitely needs to come to terms with. But I just love seeing the impact that some of these Rangers, while some of us are over MMPR stuff, there are plenty of people that really adore that season and some of these characters. Brian says, you watch Super Sentai? Yes, sir, I certainly do. At least a lot of the current stuff that we currently are having. AJ says, I personally don't collect action figures anymore. I'm too old for that. Hey, man, you're never too old to play with action figures. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to even play with them. Sometimes people just put them up on their shelves just to look good. You know what I mean? Yeah, Datilla, I feel like that's the sentiment of a lot of people, that they should have released Zeo Cat alongside Turbo Cat. I personally would have been completely like, that would have definitely been. I'm sure a lot of more people will certainly have put their money down, but I think people probably put their money down anyway just because they want to get the Catherine in Zeo also. But yeah, that definitely would have been a perfect 2-pack, honestly. Edward Sanchez Productions. Did you see Catherine posting about her on her Instagram? I thought I saw something Catherine posted just about it. Just definitely felt like she was so surprised and overwhelmed that there was so much pink love going on for her. But I mean, heck, man, that's a great opportunity for her to promote all this stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like, her and Nakia Burris have their YouTube channel. I really hope that Catherine Sutherland is certainly talking about these Lightning Collection pieces, since they highlight majority of her. So I think that would be pretty cool. Adrian Perez says, I don't know who's worse, Hasbro or Saban, when it comes to Power Ranger toys, only focusing on MMPR as of late. I'm pretty sure that's a question up in the air when it comes to its answer, Adrian. I'm sure a lot of people will give you different answers in regards to that. Listen, I get the MMPR focused stuff. I truly do. It's probably one of their best sellers. You know what I mean? It probably continues to be their highest grossing when it comes to their Power Ranger stuff. So if people, it's funny because people complain about MMPR, but yet people still go out and purchase them. I'm pretty sure that's probably why Hasbro and Lightning Collection goes out and does that. And even with the 2-pack, like I hear people complain about the 2-pack, about I can't believe that they gave me more MMPR pink with this Zeo, and then you'll always hear the complaints about it. But you know what's followed after that? But I did pre-order it. But I did buy it. Well, guys, if you keep buying this stuff, they're gonna think you keep wanting more. Like that's how that money speaks, or money talks. You know what I mean? If you don't want MMPR stuff anymore, probably stop purchasing it. But when you talk to yourself and you convince your wallet that you want to buy a 2-pack of MMPR already and a new pink Zeo, you're just telling them we're perfectly okay with this. So, while yes, some of it certainly is on Hasbro, I think we also have to understand that our money talks, and where we put our money towards things lets them know what they should continue to push. You know what I mean? So your money does go a long way. So I would definitely recommend, if you're tired of MMPR, don't pick up anything MMPR related, even if it is combined with something that you desperately want. You know what I mean? Got to put that foot down, guys. Got to put that foot down. Let's see here. All right, guys. Well, listen, I want to know your guys' thoughts. What did you guys think about the Fan First Friday that we wind up having? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it not? When you saw the toys and the Lightning Collection stuff that they're offering, did anything certainly jump out to you? What did you pre-order already? I definitely would love to know your guys' thoughts in regards to that. But with that out of the way, guys, we will move on to our next topic for the day. And that is, in fact, the idea that Dino Fury's coming to Netflix, baby. If you guys thought that we were going to be stuck waiting for brand new episodes until September, we were all wrong, because things are, in fact, changing when it comes to Power Rangers, when it comes to release schedules, when it comes to new episodes dropping, because this June 15th, guys, on Tuesday, not only will we get the first half of season 1 that we all saw on Nickelodeon from episodes 1 through 8, but maybe you didn't get the opportunity because maybe you don't have Nickelodeon, you don't have cable. Well, if you do have Netflix, if you're big into streaming services, you now get that opportunity to go ahead and check out Dino Fury for yourselves. Not only episodes 1 through 8, but we're also getting brand new episodes in 9, 10, and 11. And if anything, I'm assuming probably all dropping at once. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that that is in fact the case. As of today, we did go ahead and actually get ourselves a preview of what we can certainly expect when it comes to episode number 9. It does make me also wonder if, because, or at least I'm under the assumption that all the episodes will be dropping. If you tell me first half of season 1, I'm assuming 9, 10, and 11 are going to be there. So I am curious if it's going to end up with Saturday being episode 9 preview, if Sunday we'll get an episode 10 preview, and then if Monday we'll get an episode 11 preview, to lead us into Tuesday when these episodes wind up dropping. I'm wondering if that was Hasbro's plan the entire time, because over on the Twitter page, along with the Facebook page, the official Twitter and Facebook pages of Power Rangers, they did go ahead and at least drop a preview for us to certainly go ahead and check out and get a glimpse as to what we can certainly expect from Power Rangers, guys. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you. And let's get a look as to what they're going to be giving us when we get back to Twitter. So let's see here. This says, let me go ahead and pull this up. So it says, this is from Power Rangers. It says, "This is why we prefer glamping." What's glamping? The woods are filled with evil monsters just waiting to ruin our weekend away. Is that like a camping? And what is glamping? Glamping, short for glamorous camping. Okay, has become a mainstay of outdoor recreations over the past decade. Oh, okay. So not real camping is what they're saying. They're talking about bougie camping. I get it. That works. So they prefer to camp bougily. All right, no problem. The woods are filled with evil monsters just waiting to ruin our weekend away. Also, mosquitoes. Just take a sneak peek at episode 9 and watch the full episode when it drops on Netflix. Yes, really, on June 15th in the US, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, and Canada. So we finally have our first look, guys. Let's you know what? I don't even think, hold on, let me stop this because I almost didn't have the audio up, and I do want you guys to at least be able to hear it as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys.
What a beautiful balloon.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even, hold on. That's what happens when you do shit live.
What a beautiful balloon. Is it your birthday, Void Knight? Ooh, what flavor cake are we having?
Useless mushroom. Didn't you listen when I explained all
Yeah,
this?
he's got his shield.
Yeah. Yes, of course I did. We're having chocolate cake, right?
Pay attention. The
Mucus in this
balloon
cake.
will lift the disruptor up, blocking all communications, including Ranger teleportation. I was listening.
Very good, Mustafa. It's ready to release. But wait for my signal.
Oh, he waited all right.
Said to wait for his signal.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Why do I even bother?
Sorry, bud.
Told you I'm the king of pickup sticks.
Good, take mine. Just kidding.
You know, I could carve this firewood into a pretty good javelin.
Yes, please do, Izzy.
Don't blame me. Blame the tree.
Pretty sure I know that voice.
Hey guys, we have a problem. Come join us. You two have been asking about Void Knight. It's time to meet him.
Oh yeah, get that one-on-one
It
combo
won't
with him.
activate until it reaches the correct height.
I'll just toss mucus up there.
You two, what now?
Yeah, throw her up there. But if you miss, I want a turn.
No one
If you miss, I
invited you,
get a 10.
Rangers. Go back to your camp and roast some marshmallows.
Yo, what is Ali rocking
Can't.
though?
I ate them all.
Guess the only thing getting roasted is you creeps.
Link to Morphin Grid.
Well, if that's how you want to play it. Henchmen!
Man. All right, so a couple things for sure out of that. The first thing that really jumps out to me is that we finally get Void Knight's shield. I don't believe that this homeboy has rocked it like once since we've seen it within the first 8 episodes. So I am wondering if maybe this isn't something that he just discovers. Maybe he just has had it in storage this whole time and he winds up just like whipping it out in this episode. Who certainly knows? I will be kind of curious to see how they introduce the shield. If it's something that he either finds or if he's had it this entire time, but he's now just kind of putting it to use, if you will. So the shield is finally in play here. We do see that he's clearly got himself a scheme that mucus continues to flub, if you will, clearly messing things up for Void Knight to begin with. But I also love the idea here that Zato recognizes the fact that while I'm sure they've probably have seen Void Knight in battle per se, or at least pop up from time to time, I'm just trying to think to myself, like, yeah, they really haven't had sort of like that, I don't want to say sit down conversation, but that confronting sort of Void Knight moment with Izzy and Javi together as part of the team. So I am really interested to kind of see, I'm assuming, I guess, maybe what that interaction kind of fully looks like. Because I personally would love to see what those two would certainly say to somebody like a Void Knight. So the only other question I would have would be, what the hell is Ollie wearing in this preview? Like, I'm wondering if this is this something like that the costume designers gave him to rock like all episode long? Like, is this just what Ollie wants to wear, or is he like, is there something else in mind? Like, is he getting ready for a play? Is he going out to do something? I am kind of curious as to what the hell he was certainly rocking. But again, Void Knight coming up with a plan, Mucus clearly having issues implementing it, Void Knight with the shield. hopefully maybe a really solid confrontation between Javi and Izzy when it comes to Void Knight in here also. But the team looks great. The team looks great. A little bit of sense of humor in there with, Izzy punching her brother sort of thing. That sibling love just really showcasing itself once again. But I'm really eager to see what we wind up getting. Now, I don't know what episode. I'm assuming this is episode 9. We don't really know what the full-on synopsis of the episode is. I don't believe that there's an episode description that's been released as of yet. If there is, somebody definitely go ahead and put a link or at least let me know what it is in the comment section box below. But I don't believe we've had the opportunity to see a synopsis or a breakdown as to the description for this particular episode. So, one of the things that we've been talking about, at least when it comes to the speculation for what we're hopefully going to be getting, one of the things that I talked about was I'm kind of curious if we'll get like a special episode along with maybe a 2-parter for a Gold Ranger debut. Again, that's just my speculation. Nothing has been absolutely confirmed. So I am kind of curious as to where this preview winds up leading us. If it does lead us into a special episode, or if there are any references to the idea of a Gold Ranger, or maybe even a new appearance of a brand new villain that I'm keeping my fingers crossed that hopefully Weisel will introduce himself within these first 11 episodes, since the fact that Tank Joe, or I should say Boom Tower, is no longer around, since we wind up seeing him bite the dust in the previous episode. Now, we do have looks like a monster of the week already associated with Void Knight and Mucus. I'm sure that he's probably just going to be a one-off also, but I am hopefully hoping that the next general here for Void Knight and Weisel does in fact kind of get introduced. I'm kind of curious also what they're even going to name him, if his name is still going to be Weisel, or if they're going to give him a completely unique name, to certainly say the least. But you guys have the opportunity to check out this short little preview from Power Rangers episode number 9. What did you guys think of it? What are you hoping to certainly get out of this episode? But I'm hoping for maybe another flashback sequence, or maybe going down memory lane as maybe Void Knight explains maybe more about his shield, or where he certainly got it from. So we'll definitely see what happens, guys. But yeah, mark your calendars. Tuesday, June 15th, Power Rangers Dino Fury certainly in fact returns. On Tuesday, we will be dropping our episode 9 review for you guys, probably maybe later in that afternoon. So definitely look out for that. On Wednesday, we will be dropping episode 10, and Thursday, we will be dropping episode 11 review. So 3 days back to back. We got our Toku Tuesday celebrations around here on Tuesdays, and then we're also going to get 2 additional Dino Fury review episodes, one on Wednesday and one on Thursday. And then, of course, we'll all come back here on Saturday to really just kind of talk about it as a whole for season 1, or at least talk about the brand new 3 episodes all together. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted. So again, if you are looking for your home for Dino Fury, guys, you guys know we already got you covered, so certainly don't have to worry about going anywhere else. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I don't know what you're waiting on, guys. Hit that subscribe button along with that bell notification. Let me see what some of you guys are saying in the live chat to see what some of your guys' thoughts are. Let's see here. Blossom says, I'm sure glad I got my Netflix back, and I'm so ready for Dino Fury. I'm glad you wind up getting it back too, because I do feel like not only for Dino Fury, but I do think that when it comes to the future of Power Rangers, having Netflix is going to be extremely pivotal. Let's see here. And DHR2 Productions. I'm already amped up about the show. Let's get it. Yeah, me too. Me too. JB says, what? Thanks for clarifying. Glam with camping. Yeah, glam with camping. So Rob says also, it looks like Void Knight has acquired more power Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering. I'm assuming if anything, having that shield probably does give him a little bit of an upgrade, probably in regards to his abilities for sure. AJ has his TV on mute. Well, if you have it on mute, but you're still watching it, I mean, you pretty much have the gist of everything already, AJ, in regards to it. But hey, whatever works best for you, man. I know the power of not wanting spoilers, to certainly say the least. I don't really look at previews so much as spoilers, except for the exception of the shield. Granted, we don't know how he wind up getting it, how it came into his possession. So I guess maybe if anything, it still leaves us with a ton of questions. So not really spoiling us too much, you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely want to know what you guys think in regards to it. So again, June 15th, guys, mark your calendars because it'll be here before you know it. Our next topic, guys, that we're going to get into, you guys know how we do around here. Last week, I finally came up with a name for this segment, and this is our Simon Says segment. This is our segment, Simon Says, where Simon Bennett, while he's not necessarily joining the channel or joining our live chat, we like to go ahead and pick out certain things that Simon Bennett has certainly said over the past week that maybe intrigued us, found fascinating, perks up the ears of some of our fellow Rangers, if you will, or fellow Ranger Nation, if you will. But last week when we did our live show here, one of the segments that we talked about for Simon Says was the idea of what does the future hold for Simon Bennett after Dino Fury, right? Since we're still unsure as to where Power Rangers is going to go as a franchise. We do know that Dino Fury is set to go ahead and release on Netflix. But after Dino Fury, what are we certainly going to get? And one of the things that I talked about was, regardless if we're going to go the Toei or Hasbro route, like whether they're splitting or not splitting, right? Whatever that outcome tends to be, I personally would love the opportunity to see Simon Bennett certainly return to Power Rangers as a showrunner. I've been really impressed with some of his work directing wise when it comes to Beast Morphers. I've really loved his transition over to a showrunner and what he's been able to do for the first 8 episodes. Still very early on into the season, so there's certainly a lot to critique and certainly see how the season itself progresses. But if he continues up with this momentum, I definitely would love to see him return. And we went ahead and pushed forward some of our reasons as to why we feel Simon Bennett should certainly return. Well, to my surprise, I actually was not expecting Simon Bennett to actually comment on our video after he certainly watched it. But Simon Bennett, being the awesome guy that he certainly is, not minding interacting with people from time to time, commented on our video last time. And so what did Simon say? So Simon said, "Thanks for the nice comments. Try not to get a big head." And so I replied, not a problem. Just know your hard work is certainly recognized and the fan base is eating it up. I know you can't spoil the beans, but if Hasbro were to have you back, would you take another season of Power Rangers if asked? And then I thanked them again for all this hard work. And Simon Bennett comes back and says, "I would love to do more. It's a fun show to work on and still lots of room for improvement and fine tuning." And that's one of the things that we talked about when it comes to Simon Bennett, the idea that, from somebody to go from a director to a showrunner, I'm sure the way that his mind works is that even though he's putting forward his best foot forward to go ahead and put out the best content he possibly can, I'm sure his mind is always working on ways to try and improve or to try and grow the show even more. So the fact that he at least even comments on that, the idea that there's still room for improvement and fine-tuning, this is a guy who, when he works, he looks back on his work and he continues to critique himself, and not only himself, but I'm sure the rest of the crew, to kind of see what else can they certainly do differently for Power Rangers certainly going forward. So Simon Bennett definitely seems like the type of person that has maybe big plans for Power Rangers, if certainly asked. Now, whether or not Hasbro has asked him to certainly return is still the big remaining question. You know, one of the things that I will say is that Simon Bennett this week, over on his IG page, even on his YouTube page, did go ahead and just post up a brand new sizzle reel for 2021. Now, a sizzle reel, for those of you who don't know, is pretty much a culmination, a compilation of some of his work, if you will, to kind of show what Simon Bennett is more than capable of doing. There are some things from his past previous shows that he did back in New Zealand. There are other shows that he did, such as Power Rangers and things like that, that are all in this sizzle reel. Part of me is kind of wondering if Simon Bennett has put together this sizzle reel in an attempt to, like, does he have to look for more work now? Or is this him like just updating his resume in regards to some of the things that he's already accomplished and certainly has already worked on? So, I mean, we already know Dino Fury has officially wrapped. I'm pretty sure he's probably still maybe working on post-production, making sure those episodes are ready to certainly air over on Netflix when season 2 winds up dropping and getting ready for that. But the fact that he put together a sizzle reel does make me put up some question marks. Does that mean that he's just updating his resume per se and showcasing us what he certainly has done in his career? Or is this not only an updating his resume, but also putting it out there so that he can try and find new work after Dino Fury? Well, now that Dino Fury has officially wrapped. So it does make me wonder as to whether or not Hasbro has him included in any of their plans certainly going forward. That, unfortunately, I don't know, but I am at least glad to hear that when it comes to Simon Bennett, he seems like he would be completely on board with certainly returning to Power Rangers, and he certainly probably has some ideas as to how he would like to improve and fine-tune the series. So if Simon Bennett's done this for us in Dino Fury so far, I'm really hoping that Hasbro's paying attention to a lot of the positivity that's coming out of this season, along with the support for Simon Bennett. So we'll definitely see, guys, in regards to that. But yeah, Simon certainly would be open to return. Would you guys like Simon Bennett to certainly return to Power Rangers after what you've seen him do from the directive standpoint in Beast Morphers and his first 8 episodes here in Dino Fury? I would definitely love to know your guys' thoughts in regards to that. There is one more thing. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to remember if it was here. Because there was something else that Simon Bennett wind up actually saying. Let me see if I can find it, though. Because we did talk about this a little bit last week also in regards to the idea of, not knowing what the future of Power Rangers is going to be after Dino Fury, because we saw that Simon Bennett at least, I'm trying to see if I can find it here. I know somebody sent it to me. Give me a second, guys. Let me look. They actually might have sent it. Yeah, they sent it to me through my IG. So that's what the problem was. Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, it's no longer available. Somebody had it on there. He wind up responding. So pretty much the idea here. Sorry if I was trying to look for the comment. Lupin Green over on Twitter or IG DM'd me a comment that Simon Bennett said in regards to, remember last week he referenced the Hasbro and Toei split, and he came out with the comment of, it's an unfounded assertion. And some people were leaning towards the idea of, Simon Bennett coming out and commenting on the Hasbro and Toei split, him saying it was an unfounded assertion, kind of gave some people hope that potentially that meant that when it comes to Power Rangers, that maybe they would still be adapting Toei footage or Super Sentai footage and things like that. Well, Lupin Green this past week sent to me a reply that Simon Bennett posted, apologizing that he even commented in the first place, because I think he realizes what his comments might have done, but he pretty much came out and just said, you know, the fact that what he was trying to imply is exactly what we were referring to last week. That it's the idea that somebody was touting the Hasbro and Toei split as fact when it's not fact yet. So Simon wasn't coming out saying he knows something that we don't, or that Super Sentai was still going to be adapted. That's not what he meant. He literally came out and stated the fact that he was a little bit grumpy and upset at the fact that people are pushing the speculation as factual. And that type of stuff can be a little bit dangerous from time to time, unfortunately. So I think he was just trying to correct it. Granted, not to say that that's not going to happen, but there is something about pushing something as factual when it's simply just a rumor and nobody's actually come out and confirm that type of thing, right? So I think if anything, it's to temper expectations. I think it's to temper people's, you know, idea of thinking something's coming and then only going to be upset when it doesn't happen. And maybe the idea of like, look, let's not push things into the future that aren't here yet as of right now. So I thought that was a little bit interesting for him to actually go back and clarify his terms. But it seems as though just the same message that we delivered, that we thought Simon Bennett was certainly talking about, is exactly what he was certainly referring to, is the idea of just pumping the brakes on saying that rumors are in fact factual. I think it's really important to kind of put a disclaimer on your comments from time to time, if you will. So I did find that rather interesting that Simon Bennett did at least address his comment that he wind up making. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. Again, when it comes to Simon Bennett, would you like to certainly see him return for Power Rangers after Dino Fury, whether that be Hasbro and Toei related or just all original footage? I definitely would love to know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, guys. And next up, we will continue to stick in the world of Power Rangers, but this time around, we're going to get into some apparel around here. We don't do apparel too often, but when it comes to apparel, you know, we've been big supporters of CarsonsCorner.com. I'm actually thinking about maybe reaching out to Carsons. You guys have actually seen me rocking like the headband from time to time. Sometimes because of the fact that I have so much hair and it continues to grow, it is kind of like falling down now, like onto my forehead and into my face from time to time. So sometimes I need to like something that just hold my hair back to kind of keep it out of my face. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I've actually have really been enjoying wearing the headband, but it would be really great if I was able to get like a Power Rangers headband. Like, I don't know if Carson's Corner sells personalized headbands or Power Ranger influenced headbands with different teams and logos and things like that. But if Carson's decided to go ahead and implement that as a new product, I would definitely love to order it and highlight it here on our show. Because with all this hair, I need something to kind of hold it back from being so wild and stuff. You know what I mean? But we will get into apparel, because outside of CarsonsCorner.com, the only other apparel that we have talked about on here really has in fact been the Reebok's shoes collection that teaming up with Power Rangers, which I believe might be available as of right now. You guys could probably find some of those shoes online, a little bit pricier than I'm willing to pay, but apparel is definitely in these days. And one of the upcoming apparel that we can look forward to is going to be in an upcoming Power Rangers and Lootcrate combination, guys. This comes to us from TokuNation.com, that there's a Power Rangers Lootcrate ready for us, and it's going to be in the world of CosPLAY, if you will. It looks like we're going to be getting a little bit some athletic wear here for Power Rangers. And again, this comes to us from TokuNation.com. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. So, to be honest with you, I have already ordered my Power Rangers Lootcrate, to be honest with you guys. So if you're interested in maybe grabbing you guys one of these shirts or maybe all three, you might have your opportunity to do so. Let me go ahead and pull this up so you guys can know how to go about getting it. Again, this is an exclusive first look from tokunation.com. Power Rangers cosplay from Lootcrate, and you get to see the bigger photo here with some of the designs for the athletic wear. It says, are you ready for the next level of play? Hasbro's Power Rangers and Lootcrate are teaming up to bring your favorite teenagers with attitude to Lootcrate's new line of casual cosplay wear. Inspired by the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Red, Pink, and Green Rangers, fans can now show love for their favorite Rangers in comfortable yet casual attire. It says cosplay is your opportunity to take your love of cosplay from the convention floor to the streets. Added exciting new pieces to your everyday wardrobe with incredible pieces of cosplay attire. It says wear exclusive apparel inspired by the costumes, styles, and looks of your favorite pop culture characters, starting with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These designs are hot and limited. Don't miss them. You have until August 15th or until they sell out. And there is a link that you guys can go ahead and jump to. If anything, you know what? I might, if anything, I might, at the end of the show, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this in the, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the description box below for you guys right now. So if you do want to order it, you certainly can. We'll just pull this up because while it is on Toku Nation, I do want to have this available for you guys. So CosPLAY casual attire. Power Rangers Lootcrate. All right, guys. So I have saved it in the description box below. So if you guys want to check out the website, you certainly can. They do have, so you can buy it as a collection, like it's as one whole one, and get like all three of them, or you can get them individually if you want. Red Ranger, Pink Ranger, and Green Ranger. So individual or as a collection, whatever certainly works for you guys. So yeah, I had the opportunity to check it out. Here's a close-up shots of the t-shirt. Here's the Dragon Zord. Got that that gold and green and black combo there. This is the Red Ranger one here. Looks really sporty, honestly. And here's the Pink Ranger one for you also with the pterodactyl. So yeah, it looks like it very breathable. It looks like very much casual athletic attire. So yeah, guys, if you want to be comfortable and look good all at the same time, definitely go ahead and check it out. Again, limited, but it is available until August 15th, until it is in fact sold out. So I have in fact ordered one for myself. So I am really looking forward to seeing what it looks like in the mail. Not exactly sure how long it's going to take to get to me, but I have in fact ordered it. But once it gets here, guys, I'll maybe do a little bit of an unboxing for you guys along with some shirts. So again, while I don't necessarily do Lightning Collection, guys, I'm all about that apparel. I wouldn't mind rocking some Power Ranger shirts and things like that. Speaking of which, shout out to Ranger Liz for bringing this to my attention over on Twitter. But on Amazon, they actually have, because it is in fact Pride Month. If you guys want to go ahead and support Pride Month, Power Rangers is out with some brand new apparel content for you guys. It looks like if you go to Amazon and you just type in Power Rangers Rainbow, they've got quite a few things for you to certainly select from. Let me go ahead and just transition over to that real quick in case you want to check it out for yourselves. So again, I did see Ranger Liz post this on her Twitter account, but over on Amazon, again, in the search box, Power Rangers Rainbow, and you get some really great sort of Pride Month content here. Looks like we got a hoodie, they got some t-shirts, they got some tank tops for you to certainly choose from, different designs, different colors. I mean, it looks like it's mostly on black and white and gray shirts, but the colors definitely pop, to say the least. So if you guys want to celebrate Pride Month, if you're looking for just Power Ranger apparel in general, definitely go ahead and check it out over on Amazon. But yeah, we just wanted to highlight that for you guys, along with the cool casual wear for this new cosplay. So, oh, look at this. The girlfriend came and dropped off the coffee. While we don't have Yoda, we are going back to vintage A+ opinions logos, guys. I remember when I got these made years ago. Well, I believe I only had like one presented to me years ago, but I always loved the idea of having my traditional logo on the cup. So yeah, great stuff. But I needed this injection of caffeine. You know what I mean? But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Power Rangers Lootcrate. Do you dig some of the apparel? Are you going to go ahead and check it out for yourself? The Lootcrate itself was like $29.99. I didn't think it was too much for a t-shirt, or at least like an athletic apparel t-shirt like that. So yeah, I put down the $30 to go ahead and get it. But now looking back, I'm thinking to myself, man, I probably should have dropped that $30 on this duo here from Lightning Collection. But again, while I'm not necessarily the biggest Lightning Collection fan, there are some pretty cool designs I wouldn't mind getting. But when it comes to apparel, I would not mind rocking apparel on my show to go ahead, whether that be shoes, t-shirts, headbands. I'm not going to rock my underwear, Power Ranger underwear for you guys. So, you know, just keep your wishes to yourselves. All right. But other than that, guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think about that in the comment section box below, guys? Let's see here. I do want to get to some of your guys' comments before we transition over to Tokusatsu news for you guys today. So let's see here. Edward Sanchez Production says, did you see the photo of Ecliptor and Astronema 2-pack? Yeah, I just saw it before I went live over on Twitter. I am kind of curious as to when they're going to release that. It looks like maybe I also might have seen like the Ranger, Red Ranger Sentry from the Coinless universe in there also. So I'm wondering if that's like a new wave of figures that's certainly coming. The Ecliptor and Astronema look great, guys. Look great. So great, in fact. Listen, I'm feeling this like the love for Ecliptor and Astronema, not that it's ever gone anywhere, but I feel like it's coming back in folds. Whether that be the Power Ranger Unlimited comic book that we wind up getting. We're getting to see Ecliptor and Astronema in Boom Studios comics more. We just saw them literally in the Power Rangers storyline that they tackled, and now a potential 2-pack with Ecliptor and Astronema. You know, if I had to make a suggestion, you know, not that Hasbro gives a F about me and my ideas, but you know, one thing that I would be open for, you know, if you are looking for new, different content for Hasbro, if they're interested, I wouldn't mind an Ecliptor and Astronema series, like live action series. Heck, I mean, I would take it animated also. But I think there's a lot of story to be told with the adventures of Ecliptor and Astronema. I mean, just seeing her just such as a young kid, and even in flashback modes from the Power Rangers Unlimited, I feel like they did a really great job of just building up the lore and backstory to that character, that if they wanted to kind of fill in that gap between where we see them at in the Power Ranger comic book up until the point of the In Space season, I would really love to see an Ecliptor and Astronema series. I would be completely on board with that. So who knows? Maybe I'll make a separate video and talk about it someday. But that's been on my mind lately, an Ecliptor and Astronema live action or animated series from Hasbro. I honestly would love to see that. AJ says, Simon Says, or the segment where Adam talks to himself. Well, listen, this is the first time Adam has not talked to himself, because again, Simon Bennett has in fact reached out to us and actually spoke to us and actually answered a question without spilling too many beans in regards to the future of Power Rangers. So, hey, listen, man, Simon Says has turned out to be a great segment so far. So yeah, so hopefully, who knows, maybe one day I'll have Simon Bennett on for his actual segment of our show. We'll see what happens though, guys. Let's see here. Adam Perea says, do you think the cast will still be doing ADR for post-production work, even though most of them are already home? The Beast Morphers cast did ADR, and yeah, probably. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not sure how that works from LA to New Zealand, but maybe if they do have connections back home, I would be kind of curious to know how that works. But I would expect it. Yes, I would expect them to still do ADR. AJ, do you think episodes 9 through 11 will actually come out, or do you think Hasbro's just messing with us? No, Hasbro's not just messing with us. Listen, Power Rangers, even the Power Rangers Twitter handle said, yes, really, because apparently there's still people out there that doubt that Dino Fury is going to be on Netflix. Like, I don't know why that is. Again, it's coming from official sources. We've had multiple people tell us this. Chance Perez let it slip very early on. The Power Rangers official page on Twitter and Facebook both confirmed episodes 9 through 11. The cast of Dino Fury has come out and celebrated this news. It actually is happening, guys. So let's stop doubting it actually happening. I know things are different now. I know Hasbro is confusing some of us with how they're still lack of promotion, how they're still transitioning over from Nickelodeon over to Hasbro. Very confusing stuff. I get it. But if the official people are saying it's happening, it's happening. So let's not worry about this anymore, okay? June 15th, you are getting brand new episodes. And if you're not, then you guys can yell at me, okay? Heck, don't yell at me. Yell at Hasbro. But I'm telling you, they said it's going to be there. It's going to be there. Don't worry. Yeah, Sarav. They I don't know how I threw my own self out of my own stream. I went to go push a button and it was like, bye-bye. I'm like, huh? Sarav, going back to, they'll certainly not want to face the wrath of the fans. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So they're not going to pull some shenanigans like that. Brian, what's up, Brian? He says, look, like maybe after Dino Fury, maybe 2023 will adapt it to maybe Kyuranger or Karamager or Zenkaiger, maybe. That's a big maybe right now, Brian Lee. Again, while nothing confirmed, I'm still leaning towards the Hasbro and Toei split happening. But again, that's just speculation right now. Is there a chance? That's a big maybe. It's definitely a big maybe, Brian. If I had to choose out of the ones that you gave me, I am leaning Karamager and Kyuranger. I am leaning even more Karamager now than I feel like I was in the past. I felt like I was very Kyuranger enthusiast for seeing it, because I definitely had in my mind the idea of maybe making a 30th anniversary like an in space or like an in space theme, and I thought Kyuranger would be a great way to go ahead and celebrate that. But then somebody brought up on Twitter last week when we were talking about the future of Power Rangers, the idea of Karamager set up as like a Super Zeo. While I don't necessarily want that name at all, I honestly wouldn't mind the idea of Karamager being adapted into like a Zeo Crystal-esque sequel, if you will. I think the idea is certainly there if they wanted to go ahead and tackle it. So I'm open to either one of those. Would probably be my first two choices. Adrian Perez says Super Zeo sounds funny to me. Yeah, it is. It does sound pretty funny to me too. I'm not a fan of the name, but I get what they're going for. My name is Carl. What's up, Carl? He says, hey guys, it's been a while. How are you? We're doing great, man. We're doing absolutely great. He says, this is kind of off topic, but I have a main channel, YouTube channel, where I talk about the latest tech. It's called Carl Conrad, or it's called Is that at Carl Conrad? Well, thank you very much, Carl, for certainly plugging yourself in there. If you guys are big tech fans, go ahead and show my name is Carl some love. But thank you very much for certainly coming through, man. AJ says, I really hope we see more Izzy doing stuff with her javelin as a track star. Yeah, I mean, look, when we saw New Recruits episode 4, one of the things that I mentioned was I definitely want to see the javelin utilized. I'm a big supporter of unique weapons when it comes to Power Rangers. While I appreciate everybody having their same sword and their same blasters, I want unique weapons brought back, honestly. And I thought a javelin would be great. I hope that they utilize it again after she did such a marvelous job with it in episode 4, but we'll see if they decide to go back to it at all. Hi, ladies. Alex says it's too expensive for me. Listen, I don't blame you, man. Sometimes it can be some of the stuff, whether that be Lightning Collection apparel, it can get pretty pricey after a while. It really can be. Arcana, what's up, Arcana Master? He says, hey, Adam, did you see Ecliptor and Astronema? It looks awesome. In Space is my favorite season, so this is exciting. The red Century Ranger figure was announced with the metallic figures. Yeah, I do remember we highlighted the red Century figure being announced when they did come up with the other metallic ones also. It looked pretty sharp. I'm really glad that they're introducing some Coinless Universe stuff. For those of you who haven't seen the Astronema and the Astronema 2-pack. Let me see if did I pick it up here? I thought I liked it on my Twitter handle. Here, let me go ahead and I'm gonna save this real quick for you guys. I'll pull this up if you guys haven't had the opportunity to see what this looks like yet. I know a lot of people were pretty hyped about it. I even see some people saying like, well, why didn't you, since this is a Pink Ranger, a future Pink Ranger attached, why didn't you connect it with this announcement, right? With the pinks that they just did this past week. To that, I would just simply say, again, they had a theme going. Pioneers in pink. Astronema is not a pioneer. I mean, granted, she is the first in regards to a villain turning to the good side and becoming a Pink Ranger. But as far as a pioneer beginning this shit, she definitely isn't. So I get the idea of why they didn't want to introduce this 2-pack on Fan First Friday, because it's going to have its time to shine, guys. It's going to have its time to shine. But for those of you who have not seen it, here it is. You get the 2-pack. Here's the Century clearly. And then in the back, you also get to see the 2-pack itself that is represented in. But then you also see the actual Ecliptor and Astronema there also. And next to it is that Dino Fury right next to it. So you might get your Dino Fury toys here, guys, before you know it. So yeah, that's the 2-pack that they wind up showcasing. And I definitely want to know what you guys think. I think it looks great. I think it looks really great. So thank you for that, Arcana. Alex says, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't really kept up with Power Rangers and Super Sentai because I've been focusing on Korean and K-pop. So I'm trying to transition back into PR with you guys. Well, always welcome back here anytime, Alec, for sure. I'm glad that you're enjoying the Korean and K-pop stuff. I haven't really gotten into K-pop, which is weird because I absolutely love dancing and I love dance choreography. Maybe it's the age gap that's kind of throwing me off from time to time. But I did just watch a new BTS video, which is probably my first video that I've ever seen of theirs. Well, no, that's not true. I have seen a video or two of theirs in the past. But as far as sitting down and like watching a full-on music video from BTS, this is my first time. I think it was the one, they just did one in English, I believe. That's they even highlight them now on like McDonald's or something like that. Like they do like BTS kids meals or something like that. Like I'm fascinated by how K-pop is taking over the world, if you will. But yeah, I definitely probably will try and get into a little bit more K-pop, just because for me, while I do love music, I'm a big dance choreography guy. I absolutely love seeing people dance and love to dance myself. So that's cool that you found another outlet and hobby for you to get into, man. Adam Pereira says, how do you feel when you see comments on social media of fans asking Simon Bennett directly about stuff that may or may not happen in Power Rangers? Do you cringe or laugh to yourself? I mean, I don't necessarily cringe so much. I just think people have to understand that, like, even if Simon Bennett knew, he's not going to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, that's just so tight-lipped, keeping secrets and stuff. And, you know, who knows? Maybe even Simon Bennett doesn't even know. But I get the idea of fans wanting to know, but sometimes I think we got to be a little bit smarter about, like, did you really think he was going to tell you if that was going to happen? Like, he's not going to tell you that. So, but it doesn't really bother me so much. It's just when people start nitpicking and just start hitting them with a bunch of questions, that's when it starts getting, like, kind of annoying and things like that. All right, guys. Let's see here. All right. I think with that, I think we will go ahead and actually get into our next set of topics, guys. We're going to transition over to our Tokusatsu for this week. Now that we've talked pretty heavily when it comes to Power Rangers, Dino Fury, Appearal, and things like that. I'm sure we'll get to plenty more in your guys' live viewer questions, but we've got 3 last topics that we're going to be bringing up for you guys. One that I'm continuing, guys, Ultraman Trigger is coming. July is almost here. We're going to be getting our first glimpse as to this upcoming season. We've been highlighting week after week new casting announcements, new details about Ultraman Trigger, and I continue to get more and more excited the more that I hear about it. But this week, guys, we not only have ourselves a brand new poster for you guys to certainly go ahead and check out for yourselves, but we have voice cast that has in fact been announced. And normally when it comes to the voice cast, I don't really care so much, but there's one voice in particular that I'm dying to hear again. Let me clear out some of this stuff on my homepage. This article comes to us from TokusatsuNetwork.com as we get ready for Ultraman Trigger. As we're going to get a look at the poster and the voice actors that have officially been revealed for this season so far. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys, and you'll probably see why I'm super stoked for this announcement. Ultraman Trigger poster, as we get to see here, it says Subaraya has released a new poster for the upcoming show and announced new information about character voice actors. It says on Thursday, June 10th, they held a live stream event for the upcoming series Ultraman Trigger. During the live stream event, a new poster was revealed as well as casting announcements for the voice actors. And here's an actual official photo of the cast and crew, or I should say the cast itself for, it looks like Guts Select, if anything. It says appearing in the live stream events were the main director, Koichi Sakamoto, and the main cast members. The cast discussed the show, and a new poster was revealed. This poster includes characters who were just announced. The Guts Select member, Alien Metron Marluru, and the 3 Dark Giants. So we got the 3 Dark Giants here in the far left-hand corner. And we got the entire Guts Select team and their alien member, Metron Marluru. So here's some of the new characters. Alien Metron Marluyu. It says, and this is the character right here. This is the alien Marluyu. And for those of you who don't recognize the beautiful actress that's going to be under that helmet, or at least the voice actress, that is in fact Luca from Gokaiger. So here's the alien Metron Marluru. It says Marluru is a wandering alien from the planet Metron. who works as an operator for the Team Gut Select. Despite her cute and cuddly appearance, she has a sharp tongue. And that does sound very reminiscent to Luca. It says Marluru is voiced by Mayo Ichimichi. Excuse me. She previously played Luca Milfi in Gokaiger and has done extensive voice acting for both Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. So she's no slouch. She's no slouch whatsoever. She says, "Hello, everyone." Is that how she pronounces her name? Mao? Is that how she Mayo? Is that that's weird? Is that how is that what she goes by now? Is that like the symbol for Prince? Is that what she's being referred to as now? MAO. She says, and I will be voicing the character Marluru in Ultraman Trigger. I'm thrilled and honored to be in such a beloved and long-running series. I'm ready to join the team and do my part to protect the planet. In a way, I will kind of be like the unofficial mascot of Gut Select, and I will do my very best to make Marluru the cute but sassy character you just can't stay mad at. And it definitely feels as though she's bringing over just that Luca vibe to her also. Like, I do wonder, while I'm not too familiar with some of her other voice acting work, I do wonder if they ever need somebody that's got a sharp tongue or pretty sassy, if Mayo here actually just fits perfectly into what they're certainly looking forward to. So I'm really eager to see what she's back. Anytime Luca's in anything, I definitely would love to support her. So I'm really looking forward to Ultraman Trigger even more now, knowing that she's going to be involved. And this is going to be two Gokaiger characters or Gokaiger actors that are going to be prevalent in Ultraman Trigger, because not only do we have her who played Luca, but we also have the character that played Bosco coming back in Ultraman Trigger to play a treasure hunter himself also. So yeah, there's definitely some Gokaiger vibes going on in here. In regards to the villains, we've got the 3 Dark Giants. So the first Dark Giant is Chimera. It says, leader of the Dark Giants, this formidable warrior once tried to plunge the world into eternal darkness. After breaking the seal that has locked her away for 30 million years, she is once again wreaking havoc on Earth alongside other Dark Giants. It says Chimera is voiced by Sumire Yusaka. She made her voice acting debut in 2011, and she's going to be a part of it. And here's the actress that's playing Chimera, along with her design as well. I love this design, especially if she's going to be sort of the leader of the Dark Giants. I think this is a slick ass costume. I think she looks absolutely great in it, and I can't wait to see just how evil she truly is. We've got Dargan. Dargan is one of the Dark Giants that appeared on Earth alongside Chimera, a brutish fighter. He values raw strength above all else and lives for the thrill of the fight. And here's Dargan for you guys. This is his character and the voice actor that's going to be playing him as well. So another great design. Again, this definitely comes across as that brutish warrior sort of fighter, if you will. He's got the armor on, the helmet. He looks like he's certainly ready to battle. Definitely very different than the very sleek and elegant Chimera, who looks can be deceiving. So don't think that raw strength is just going to do it for you. And then last but not least, Hoodram. Hoodram is one of the Dark Giants that appear on Earth alongside Chimera. While he may be comparatively weak, he makes up for his lack of strength with his nimble maneuvering and cunning. He uses psychological warfare against his foes, provoking their emotions and using their own mind against them. Ooh, interesting. So this is Hoodram right here. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a weakling at all, but you definitely get your brute strength, your intellectual type of villain, right? Who's elusive and cunning and definitely has sort of the mind games to definitely play with you. I am kind of curious if there's any sense of like telekinesis or, you know, mind controlling powers. I'm not quite sure, but when you got somebody like Chimera and they're backed up by brute force and intellect, that's a dangerous combo for anybody to have to take down. So again, Hoodram right here. This is going to be Dargan right here, and then we've got Chimera right here as well. So the 3 Dark Giants, who are probably going to be some of the main villains. And then, of course, this is our new unofficial mascot for Gut Select, the Alien Metron Marluru, played once again by Luca from Gokaiger. Again, let me know, guys, because I'm not too familiar with her. I'm used to referring to her as Mayo Ichimichi, but the fact that she's referring to herself as M-A-O, again, I don't know what happened with that, but I would like, if you guys know where that transition is coming from, definitely go ahead and let me know. But yeah, guys, it'll be here before we know it. Ultraman Trigger, I'm trying to see, do they have a release date on this? It will be, it says an unedited version of the Ultraman Trigger live stream will be uploaded on the Ultraman official YouTube channel on July 12th. So that's the official live stream on July 12th. They still haven't given me an official date as to when the series is coming out, which I would think that they would automatically put this. Put that in the article itself. But Ultraman Trigger will be here, and we'll definitely continue to keep you guys posted on any new developments as we get further into as that series gets closer. And again, it's definitely a series I'm looking forward to. This will be my first time dabbling in Ultraman live action. I did check out the Ultraman Netflix anime series, which was great, which I highly recommend if you haven't done so yet. We're supposed to be getting a live action Ultraman movie sometime this year. I think it was supposed to be scheduled for summer release of this year, but they delayed it and are pushing it back. So whether or not it comes out in 2021 of this year, I'm not quite sure. But Ultraman is definitely having a huge resurgence 55 years into this franchise. So they're doing some great things, guys, some great things. Next up for you guys, the next title, the article that we want to go ahead and bring about. You know, while we certainly are celebrating the 45th anniversary of Super Sentai, that's not the only anniversary that Super Sentai, in fact, is going to be enjoying. We also have to remember that it's the 10th anniversary for none other than Gokaiger themselves, ladies and gentlemen, as Gokaiger's 10th anniversary is here. We've been doing, it's one of the reasons why we've been doing our Gokaiger reaction videos. We've been dropping 2 a week, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday. We're very close to actually wrapping up our Gokaiger reactions as of right now. Our Gokaiger reactions are actually available as early access content for our patrons. There's certainly a significant amount of weeks ahead of you guys. And then the episodes eventually do become made available to the general public on our YouTube page. But we're about to wrap up that season of Gokaiger. We wanted to go ahead and highlight Gokaiger because of the fact that it was we are celebrating the 45th anniversary. Gokaiger is, in fact, an anniversary season in and of itself, as it was, in fact, the 35th anniversary of Super Sentai. And we're also highlighting Go Ranger, doing reaction videos for that season as part of our exclusive content on Patreon. So we're definitely all about celebrating anniversary seasons here at A+ More Phenomenal this year. But we can't forget that Gokaiger certainly has a 10th anniversary, and it seems as though we might actually have an event that we're going to be teased about here rather soon. So let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit further. If you're big Gokaiger fans, like I certainly were, it was actually my introduction into Super Sentai for the very first time. And I absolutely loved it. While I personally didn't get all the past Super Sentai references, I can tell you that as a newcomer to Super Sentai at the time, it definitely opened up my eyes to the world that was Super Sentai, and to just showcase to me just how long it's been around, how many series there certainly were. Some of the storylines fascinated me enough with these characters to want to go back and see what those previous seasons were like. So it was a great way to introduce me to the Super Sentai world. So anytime that they want to celebrate or have Gokaiger anywhere, I'm here for it, guys. So this comes to us from tokusatsunetwork.com, letting us know that Gokaiger 10th anniversary event teases a special announcement for us to look forward to. So it says a special announcement event titled Gokai Happyo Toku Bang commemorating the 10th anniversary of Gokaiger's broadcast will premiere on the Toei Tokusatsu YouTube official channel. Readers should note this YouTube channel is primarily for featuring content exclusively in Japan. So this special will likely be inaccessible to audiences outside of Japan. It says this special will feature 3 special guests who worked on the show. You've got Captain Marvelous is coming back, Gokai Silver is coming back, and the voice of the show's narrator and the Gokaiger's equipment. Seki, a big Tokusatsu fan, will discuss his, Ozawa's, and Aikida's thoughts on the 10th anniversary. The program will conclude with a special announcement. It says 199 Hero Great Battle will be available for free on Toei Tokusatsu YouTube channel, a YouTube official at the conclusion of the special. So they are going to be putting that onto YouTube. So if you guys do want to check it out, please do. And on our YouTube page, we also do have a watch along for the 199 Hero Great Battle if you're interested in checking that out at the same time and watching along with us. You guys are certainly more than welcome to do that. But yes, it does say here, this news follows the recent announcement, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But yeah, guys. So yeah, the live stream looks like the stream will be starting June 19th, and at the end of that, they are in fact, like they said, the program will conclude with a special announcement. So I am kind of curious if this special announcement will in fact be maybe like a 10 years after sort of movie or event for our Gokaigers. If this is the 10th anniversary, I feel like they've done plenty of, 10 years after movies for some of our past Super Sentai seasons. And if anyone certainly deserves one of their own, it definitely is the Gokaiger team itself. So I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us. At least I'm hoping that that's what the announcement is going to be. We clearly still have to wait a little bit of time to actually get the announcement, and then going to have to wait for whatever that announcement is to actually happen and be put on the big screen or small screen. But if it's Gokaiger and it's the 10th anniversary, we're getting something. We're getting something, guys. So get ready for it, because it'll be here before we certainly know it. But I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan of Gokaiger, so anytime they want to give me something brand new, I'm here for it. I loved the Super Sentai Strongest Battle mini crossover event that we had a couple of years back, the 4-part mini series. Bringing back Captain Marvelous along with Luca, I thought was a great addition to the series. So I'm eager to see what these characters have definitely been up 10 years after. So again, while they haven't told us that that's what we're going to be getting, I'm hoping that's what that special announcement certainly is, to say the least. But what do you guys think the special announcement is when it comes to this live stream that they're certainly going to go ahead and let us know about? I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below after this video airs. And last but not least, guys, we're going to continue along with our Gokaiger talk, because it seems as though we're going to be having our Gokaigers facing off against none other than the Zenkaiger team. That's right, guys. Now, listen, don't get too hyped. Don't get too hyped. Let's pump the brakes here for just a little bit, because the important thing here that I think a lot of us have to understand when it comes to Zenkaiger versus Gokaiger, this is a live show. A live show. So if anything, I'm assuming a stage production and things like that, but could it be hinting at other things that are certainly set to happen for Zenkaiger and Gokaiger somewhere down the line? Let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. So we're getting the Zenkaiger versus Gokaiger live show. And this article also comes to us from Tokusatsu Network as well. They usually have a great source of news, guys. But it says Zenkaiger versus Gokaiger live show coming this summer, guys. This summer, a new Super Sentai live show at the G. Rosso Theater will feature a crossover between Zenkaiger and Gokaiger. It is the upcoming second show in Zenkaiger's live show series. The event will be held throughout July and August with a few extra performances in September. After driving away Barashitara and his Kudaks, the Zenkaigers and Tsukaiser witness a monster attacking from space. While forced to fight the powerful enemy, the Gokaigers rush in. When three powers clash, will the Zenkaigers be able to save the day? It says the show will be held every Saturday, Sunday, and holiday from July 17th to the 29th of August this summer, and again on the same days from September 18th through September 26th. It says tickets are being sold for every seat with the intent to accommodate full capacity. But they do talk a little bit about some other things here. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, they are going to be having a live show event here of the Zenkaigers versus Gokaiger. I am a little bit curious, when it comes to these live shows. I'm assuming maybe they don't happen in continuity for what's happening on the show. The only reason why I say that is because of the fact that our Gokaigers rush in to kind of help out the Zenkaigers and Tsukaiser, which, if I'm not mistaken, I thought the Gokaigers world was already sort of captured within the Toji gear, if you will. So how they wind up escaping or getting out, who knows? I mean, maybe by the time this live action series or this live show winds up dropping, maybe they will have already rescued sort of the pirate world. I have no idea. So maybe that's something that'll happen in the television show before we actually get this live show. But a part of me is wondering, like, I am hoping that because we're having a live show here, I am kind of hoping that maybe this influences, or at least maybe gives us an idea as to what we can expect maybe in the upcoming show itself. Not to say that the adventure that they have in the live show is being ripped right out of storyline from the live action TV series or not, or maybe if they're even connected, who certainly knows. But I am hoping that if we are getting a live show with Zenkaiger and Gokaiger, a part of me is really hoping that this is teasing the fact that the Gokaigers at some point in time will be popping up in this season of Zenkaiger at some point. So I'll keep my fingers crossed. But with everything that we've just been announced, live show for Gokaiger and Zenkaiger, a Gokaiger 10th anniversary announcement upcoming. It definitely seems as though big things are certainly coming from Gokaiger, and I'm really hoping that they manage to take that enthusiasm from not only a potential 10th anniversary Gokaiger movie, but I hope they are able to take that momentum and actually put it into the Zenkaiger series as well. So we'll see, guys. Do you think that this live show will hint at what we could potentially be getting for the upcoming season of Zenkaiger? Do you think Gokaiger will eventually pop up in the show itself? What do you think about some of these Gokaiger announcements that we've certainly have gotten today? I think they've done a really great job of getting us hyped for celebrating not only the 45th anniversary of Super Sentai, but also the 35th anniversary as well, and the 10th anniversary for Gokaiger, since that's how long it's certainly been around. So I'm here for it, guys, but let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think about the idea of a live show? Do you want it to influence the Gokaigers popping up in Zenkaiger at some point in time? Definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section box below. I think for me, just based off of the relationship that we see, or the personality that we see with Zox Goldtweaker, who is in fact Tsukaiser, I really would love to see his concept of world pirates facing off against the personality and mentality of that of Captain Marvelous. I do look at them as significantly different characters. Maybe there's a lot that Zox could certainly learn from Captain Marvelous. I mean, they definitely still have that pirate approach, right? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Captain Marvelous, I can easily see Captain Marvelous have been somebody like Zox Goldtweaker with the personality, maybe not all the dancing around, but we've seen just how much Captain Marvelous has grown over his own series and over the past couple of seasons also. So he's definitely not going to be anywhere near the same established character as Zox, but it is something I would love to see on screen from our Gokaiger pirates and these world pirates, and just the different mentalities and ideologies that they certainly might have, and how it clashes and how it might actually bring them closer together. So I would be really fascinated to see how that all plays itself out. But guys, I want to know your thoughts in regards to that. Would you love to see that combination at some particular point in time? Definitely go ahead and let me know. Let's see here, and I'll go ahead and jump into these the live chat with you guys before we get into your live viewer questions here. Arcana says, if you like dancing, have you tried Kamen Rider Gaim? It has dancing and samurais. Yes, I have, Arcana. I don't know if I gave it enough chance. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, honestly, so I fell off after maybe like 3 episodes, but I have yet to revisit it, though. AJ says, we need a Gokaiger 10 years later reunion movie. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the announcement that we're going to be getting, AJ, at some point in time. Power Rangers Legacy says, I'm surprised that you're still talking about Tokusatsu, even though Toei has stopped official fan subs. Listen, fan subs will always reign supreme. You know, there's always ways around things. You know, I definitely still continue to do my reviews for Zenkaiger and Kamen Rider because of the fact that, you know, you can take down some fan subs, but there's always going to be somebody that's going to take the place of that until Toei decides to go ahead and actually make it accessible for fans everywhere. You know, fan subs are always going to reign supreme, unfortunately, to the detriment of Toei. But yeah, no, I'm still going to go ahead and support it because, one, I love the content. I love Tokusatsu. And you know, not everybody gets the opportunity to watch it, so I still try and do my part to bring them reviews and the news that's certainly going on. Enrique, going back to the 10-year anniversary, is the Gokaiger 10-year anniversary is coming. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that that's what that announcement is going to be. Oh, AJ, thank you for the heads up. He says Power Morphicon online is this week. I hope all the panels are posted. I hope Beast Morphers do a panel and maybe a last minute by Dino Fury. That would be pretty cool. A last minute Dino Fury panel for Power Morphicon. Yeah, give that to me. I would be completely there for that. What is that? June 19th? What is that? Next weekend? We'll definitely keep you guys posted. I'll have to look at the schedule that they have in regards to it. Arcana is going back to the Gokaiger movie potentially, or the live show. He says they better make it extra showy. Oh, when it comes to Gokaiger, there's no other way to do it. There's no other way. AJ, he says live show or not, I hope the Gokaigers beat the crap out of Zenkaigers and maybe have Tokaigers switch sides for that. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start jumping into your guys' live viewer questions for the day because I'm pretty sure there are quite a few. So let me see if I can go ahead and pull some of these up for you guys today. Let's see here. All right, let me go to my Google account. All right, we got quite a few. All right. So we got Adrian Perez. How do many Power Rangers series? Why do many Power Rangers series the Rangers seem to always choose the correct morphers they end up getting? Does the morphing grid like already know which person gets which colors. You know, I don't necessarily. I'm trying to think. You know, when we're looking at the Morphing Masters, I feel like they were just given the color schemes. You know, I think the morphers clearly recognize sexuality. Because when the female does get her powers, it automatically throws on the skirt. So the morphing grid at least recognizes your sexuality, but I think that's probably the only thing that it recognizes. So unless it's able to pick up on like who's got the best leadership skills also in there, I think that's just how it kind of plays itself out. So I don't think it knows which person gets the color. I guess it's just, unless it's like chosen for you type of thing, right? Like unless you actually meet somebody and they grant you the powers of Power Rangers, maybe they're the ones that sort of pick it up. But if you just aimlessly run across it, I guess it's just you know, just what it is type of thing. But the morphing grid does at least recognize your sexuality, but I don't think it recognizes like your personality and, oh, this person is going to make a great Ranger leader, so we're going to give him red. You know what I mean? Unless somebody bestows the power on them, I don't think they know that much. So it could just be by chance. As I write this, I heard there's another Hasbro Fan First Friday coming this week. Was it true? And what information did we get this time? So we definitely talked about that. Yes, it was true. Did we get this time perhaps Dino Fury sneak preview of 9 through 11? No, while we didn't get it as part of the Fan First Friday, we at least did get the sneak preview today for episode number 9. So I'm assuming tomorrow, again, this is just assumption, I'm assuming tomorrow will be episode 10. I'm assuming Monday will be episode 11, and then Tuesday the episodes all drop. Adrian also asks, do you think JDF, aka Tommy, is overrated? And do you want him to come back on the show or not for at least 5 or 10 years? And unless they don't make a crossover all about him like Ninja Steel and a bit of legendary battle. I'm always okay with JDF coming back to a show, but I do believe in taking a breather from time to time. Like if he was just on Ninja Steel, then I say let's take another 5 to 10 years before JDF winds up coming back. Do I think he's overrated though? No, I don't think Tommy or JDF is overrated at all. Just based off of what he's done for the franchise. I mean, being part of not necessarily an OG per se, like the first 5 members, but as far as being from the original Mighty Morphin season and things like that, getting the opportunity to see what his character went on to do for the Power Rangers legacy, him coming back in Dino Thunder and having such a big connection to it, just for Tommy as a character, but also JDF in regards to what he's done for the Power Ranger franchise as a whole, you know, doing a ton of content that fans are really always usually pretty eager for, trying to give the fans a little bit of what it is that they certainly would like. I mean, if you've had the opportunity to meet JDF in person, you know, he's a really great person to meet sort of thing, always kind of pushing the idea of your own personal growth. And he just seems like he's got a ton of positive energy that I don't think can be disregarded when it comes to Power Rangers and helping not only MMPR but just the Power Ranger franchise continue to be relevant after so many years. So no, I don't think JDF or Tommy is overrated. I think they've definitely done plenty in their career to earn the status that they're certainly at. But I get the idea of maybe people being tired of seeing so much of him. That's one of the reasons why I get the idea of maybe every 5 to 10 years, bring Tommy back. That's great. He doesn't have to be in our face for everything. but I definitely don't disregard anything that JDF has certainly done for the franchise, because he's always putting his best intentions forward to help grow and continue to make Power Rangers popular. So I definitely definitely doing his thing. Power Rangers Legacy's got a couple questions. We talk about this a lot, but do you think that Beast Morphers as an overall, but what do you think of Beast Morphers as an overall series, and what do you wish was different or even better than what already was? I really enjoy Beast Morphers overall as a series. I was a big fan of the characters that we wind up getting. I thought it was not a super fresh take, but there were definitely elements of the show that felt fresher than most. So I really do appreciate Chip Lynn doing his best to try and adapt this season from Go Busters. But I had a lot of fun with it. Honestly, the characters really hit me great. The cast certainly did, which is one of the reasons why I've always wanted this cast to certainly return in some capacity to reprise their characters. I thought it was great that we got the opportunity to see their parents have as much involvement in their lives as they certainly did. I wasn't necessarily always the biggest fan of the comedic aspect of things when it comes to Beast Morphers, but it's to be expected because it is in fact a kid's show. There are some episodes that felt kind of fillerish, that felt very, on the nose in regards to lessons of the day, if you will. So it definitely had its bumps, but overall, I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was a really great switching of trajectory based off what we had just gotten over the past several Neo Saban seasons. It felt like a breath of fresh air. So for me, a couple of things that I wish was maybe different. Maybe the utilization of the Beast Bots probably could have gone a little bit better. But there's always certainly room for improvement. Maybe some dialogue here and there type of thing. The usage of Ben and Betty. But I really love what we had overall. So I definitely have Beast Morphers up there as one of my more favorite seasons, especially in this Neo Saban era that we certainly had. What if new Hasbro's Power Rangers movie does really well in reviews by critics this time, but the box office still bombs, or vice versa? Or maybe critics still giving it bad reviews, just don't like Power Rangers. Was one of the reasons why I think it should go to a streaming service. We just posted a video this past week of us pointing out our reasons as to why this movie should go to streaming services, because of the situation you just mentioned here, Power Ranger Legacy, right? Like, granted, if the critics enjoy it, I feel like the general audience will enjoy it, so I don't think it would bomb. But if it's still a possibility that it certainly could bomb. So if it does bomb, despite what reviews are saying, it just means that, who knows? There's plenty of reasons why it could certainly bomb, but what would that mean? That would probably be the death of Power Rangers coming to movies again anytime soon. 2 back-to-back flops at the box office would be really terrible for Power Rangers, right? How would you be able to go from that to then telling people, hey, by the way, that movie that just dropped that didn't make any money, that you guys probably really didn't like so much, even though the critics did, we've got a series coming. Like, that's not really great for enthusiastic levels, what I'm saying, for the fan base, if you will. Whereas if you just bypass the movie theaters altogether and go to streaming service, there's still a pretty good chance that you can continue along with your franchise and some of the plans that you certainly, had made for the future of Power Rangers. So that's one of the reasons why I think Hasbro should avoid the risk of putting a movie out in the box office, just because, it may not do so well. You also ask, what storyline of Go Busters did you really like that was interesting and wished Beast Morphers had borrowed or made it better? For me, I was thinking about this the other day. When it comes to Beast Morphers, while I loved the addition of the family members in this show, whether that be the mayor, Jacqueline's news reporter mom, you know, Commander Shaw, you know, Robbie's mother. While I love all the influence that it had, there was a part of Go Busters that I really enjoyed emotionally at the idea of their parents not being around. You know, and it wasn't just a case of their parents not being around and not being a part of their lives, but it's the sense that their parents literally get teleported trying to save the world's life, their kids' life. Their parents wind up getting teleported into this digital world, if you will, where our Go Busters, for majority of their life, are raised with the intention of trying to go into this other dimension to bring back their family and their relatives and their fellow co-workers, you know, from like 13 years ago or whatever the case may be. They still have hope that their family has in fact survived. And so knowing that these kids have been raised without their parents because they've been, you know, kidnapped and teleported to another dimension, and you know, wondering if all this hard work is even gonna save them at the end of the day. I felt like that was a level of risks and emotional stakes for our Go Busters that was really missed out in the Beast Morphers season, because of the fact that their family was around. You know, the idea of, you know, when you realize, again, this might be spoiler territory for those of you who haven't seen Go Busters, but if you want to go back and watch it, I would still recommend you check it out. But the idea of realizing that you're fighting for something, and you realize by the time you get there, you know, things aren't quite what you expected, and having to make some necessary sacrifices that I don't think the team was expecting, right? And having to mentally get yourself together and ready to sacrifice your family in order to save the world. I think that's really weighty on a character, you know? And so I always love that aspect of Go Busters that I wish was introduced in Beast Morphers. Maybe a little bit too heavy for a Nickelodeon series, to say the least, but impactful enough for when I watched it in Go Busters, man. I mean, talk about gutting me, you know, just gutting me. I think those are moments that, even though it's dark, I think are important life lessons. And I think even if Beast Morphers on Nickelodeon, I still think that a storyline like that could have been adapted, or should have been adapted, to challenge kids, to push kids to feel those type of emotions and understand what characters are going through. So yeah, that's probably one storyline I would have loved to have seen adapted from Go Busters that wasn't for Beast Morphers, unfortunately. So great set of questions. Thank you, Legacy. I appreciate it. Adam Pereira's got a couple questions. Adam says, what do you think of Blake Foster from Turbo going to make his MMA debut like JDF did years ago? Do you think Blake is really doing it to stay relevant and to show that he's not washed up actor that many fans hated? And would this make Power Rangers even more popular, or show that former actors become a-holes? Well, look, am I going to watch Blake Foster fight? No, I don't care. I just don't care. I don't know what the purpose of this is. I feel like I think it's maybe just a personal feud between these two. Like, they just want to shut each other up. And if they have personal feuds, that's the way to go about it. You know, don't talk about it, be about it. You know, put your fists up. Like, let's see what you got. If you really have that big of a grudge, then that's how you squash it. So if they want to fight, that's great. I don't care about it though. So I'm probably not. If I have to pay money to watch it, fuck no. Are you kidding me? No, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I think it's probably just to stay relevant, publicity, bring more attention to yourself. I mean, this isn't going to show that you're a washed up actor. If anything, I think this shows you that you are a washed up actor that is only trying to stay relevant in order to, you know what I'm saying? Like, to continue to bring attention to himself. You know, I haven't seen Blake Foster or anything else in quite some time. So, you know, whatever he wants to do, man. That's fine. I don't have any betting odds. I don't know who's going to knock who out. you know, the person that he's facing, I don't even know how much experience they have. Like, is this an MMA guy fighting against somebody that's not an MMA guy? Like, why would I want to watch somebody get smashed like that? So I have no idea. If somebody has experience, like I can't even compare Blake Foster to JDF. Like, I don't know what Blake Foster's MMA career is like. Blake Foster MMA career. Let's see. Does he have? Like, what is this? This is, oh, Colt from Three Ninjas and from Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fame from the. So this is what, 190s thing against somebody else in the 90s? Is that what we're dealing with here? He says, and this is more than just a boxing match here. Michael Lasky, who played Red Power Rangers in 95 as a kid, and Colt from the Three Ninjas franchise, and Blake Foster, who played the Blue Turbo Ranger in 97, and the Casper franchise, have agreed to an MMA fight to settle their differences and determine once and for all who is the better martial artist and who is the better Ranger. This fight has been 2 years in the making. Blake and I have been rivals our whole lives, and now it's time to settle it like men. While the last original Red Ranger has more in-cage experience, the Blue Turbo Ranger will show up more physically dominant, standing 6'2" and walking around at 230, but the fight will be set at 205. Mike had to gain about 45 pounds for this fight. While I am coming down to 205 and keeping all my muscle, not a good idea for him. Olasky boasts a modest MMA fight record. His fight weight is normally around 155 or welterweight 170, and Foster was a nearly undefeated full contact karate champion in his youth. Olasky, standing only 5'9", has his work cut out for him. No exhibitions, no holds barred, takedown, head kicks, and submissions permitted. Why are we looking forward to boxing matches again? I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess for me, it would come down because, look, while I am a big MMA guy, you know, it does come down to it doesn't give me a record. Like, I wish that they would give me a record as to who they have fought in their time. I mean, full contact karate champion in his youth, that's great. But when was the last time that he actually utilized that? Has he trained? Has he been keeping up to date? Again, I don't follow Mike or Blake like that to even know what their lives are like. That's a huge weight difference for sure. But if, you know, Olasky is relatively trained, and Blake Foster hasn't used any of his karate in years, you know, they can do takedowns, ground and pound, submissions. Like, does Blake even know what he's doing in that regard? So, you know, we'll see. I don't know how well trained he is in that regards. If whoever has the most experience, I'll lean on that. So is Mike, even though Mike is the smaller guy, he's putting on more weight. I don't know what his gas tank is like with that extra weight on him, as to whether or not Blake is just going to come in here, overpower him. Even though, mind you, the catch weight is 205 pounds, if he's walking around at 230, damn, that's Blake Foster's a big dude. That's a lot of weight. But I have seen other people get smashed. Doesn't matter, you know, weight or size. I think Gracie from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has taught us all that lesson. So, you know, watch out, Blake. I don't know how, again, it says he boasts a modest MMA fight record. Michael Lasky does. I don't know what that consists of, though. What is he, like 3-3? I'm kind of curious. Let me see. Michael Lasky's record. He's 9-3. That's actually not bad. That's actually not too bad. $5'9", 170. Finish rate 100%. He's got a 3-fight win streak. A 50% win by KO. A 50% win by submission rate. I mean, I'll put my money on Mike. Why not? Why not? Again, I don't really know too much about these two in regards to that, so I'll put it up, but I'm not going to bother to watch it. I'm sure some people will tell me what happened. Let's see here. If anything, I'll say submission. Mike by submission. First round. Here we go. Adam Perea. And second question, is Power Rangers still banned in New Zealand? And if so, do you think the cast members who are or based in New Zealand are given the episodes of shows like Dino Fury? Are they not able to watch the show they're a part of? I think they probably have to watch it through other things, like maybe like Nickelodeon, or maybe they have a service that they use, whether that be Nick's online thing. I'm not quite sure. I will say this: Netflix is now available in New Zealand. Because that's where exactly Dino Fury is going to be showcased. It said US, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, and Canada. So it may not necessarily air cable-wise or actual national television for them in New Zealand, but maybe you can catch it on, streaming service and things like that. I think when Beast Morphers had to do that, when they wanted to watch the debut episode, I'm assuming, if anything, they probably had to watch it on like an app to actually watch it when it aired that day. So who knows? But yeah, I'm under the impression that it's still not airing nationally or on cable in New Zealand, but maybe they're relying on it to be on Netflix for them to actually be able to watch it. You also say, as I write this, I saw a video from Joe from the hashtag show, and he did an interview with JDF, and someone sent in the question about his beef with Austin, and JDF said that the issue started when some diehard fans did a thing where they are Team Austin and Team JDF after watching Green with Evil, and he and Austin let the thing just be in the air by fans. What do you think? I mean, I could see that happening. I could see that being a real thing for sure. The idea of, fans siding with Austin, some fans siding with JDF, right? Like, no, I like the Red Ranger. No, I like the Green Ranger. I can easily see that, fans creating that. But I will say, like, so he says him and Austin just let the thing just be in the air by fans. I mean, that's cool if it's in the air like that. But I guess for me is like, do you have to continue playing it up 20 plus years later? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that they both have said great things about each other, maybe and recently, they were both at the 2017 premiere. But that's the origin of the beef. Like 30 years later, you're still playing up that beef of Team Austin, Team JDF. Like, that's stupid, guys. Like, at this point, those same people are grown-ass men now, or grown-ass ladies now, like that want to see you guys actually on a convention circuit together, singing Kumbaya and holding hands and hugging one another and you know what I'm saying, having actual conversations. Like, the fans want to see you at conventions together. Why don't you pull the trigger? Because you're holding on to fake beef from 1990s. Like, come on, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me. They can say whatever they want to, but until I see them hugging each other and doing the conventions, something's going on, man. Something's going on. You're like the two most recognizable Power Rangers in all of history, and you can't sit you guys next to each other. Come on. Dino AJ, with Dino Fury almost on Netflix, do you think some of the new episodes we'll be getting will be connected to what we've gotten so far? Yes, I do. It's just a progression of the story, so absolutely. And do you think Jordan Fight's debut will be epic, not obvious or generic like past Six Rangers? Yeah, maybe Jordan Fight. Maybe they'll do something different for Dino Fury this time around with Simon Bennett as a showrunner. So yeah, again, this is all speculation. We don't know if Jordan Fight's Gold Ranger is going to be debuting in these 3 new episodes. I'm very much under the impression that he will be. It would make sense to me, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I do think his debut will be epic. And those of you who don't know, oh, you know what? Give me a second here, guys. Yes, this is what I was looking for. To go even further into that, because I'm glad that you brought that up. To go even further into that, you know, with some recent photos were actually released with Jordan Fight and the rest of the cast. These were dropped here like last week or the week before, but we get a much better look at Aeon or Ion, however he wants to. I have to catch his name again. But they posted some new photos. Let me go and pull this up of the cast itself. Now, I'm hoping it's epic in certain ways, AJ, like you referred to, because I really hope that they dive into his past and maybe some backstory for Aeon or Ion. One of the photos that they went ahead and just dropped this week or previously was seeing Jordan Fight here in his antennas, making the connective pieces here for us that Ion most likely is from Rafcon itself. You know, I think maybe one of the questions for a while was whether or not the Gold Ranger might be somebody from Zato's planet, whether he's just another Ranger that maybe came across these keys and you know, wind up obtaining this power. But it seems very much like when it comes to Jordan Fight's Ion, him having the same antennas as Zato definitely, to me, makes me feel like, yeah, this guy's definitely from Rafcon. So if that's the case, I really do hope that not only is his debut epic when he comes out and does his morphing sequence and starts fighting, but I'm really hoping for some great stories between Ion and Zato. Now, whether or not they know of each other, maybe this is the guy from the original team. Maybe he was also, you know, hidden under the bay or the ocean or whatever the case may be. Maybe that's who the Nexus Prism was certainly waking up in that Nexus Prism episode that we wind up seeing. So it seems as though maybe we will have a Rafcon connection here between Ion along with Zato. So give me some great backstory. You guys know I love flashback sequences, so I definitely want to see what their chemistry and camaraderie perhaps was like in the past 65 million years ago, and to see if that sort of chemistry sort of trickles over into this particular season. Like maybe they are buddy. Maybe this gives somebody for Zato to be close to, right, and have something that he can fall back on in regards to remembering where he came from. So yeah, I am hoping that Jordan Fight's debut is rather epic. Let's see here. You also asked, in the Disney era, how do you feel that whenever the show would use original footage, they do that to cover up every very goofy scene from Super Sentai, or they're really violent? Now that Dino Fury, even Beast Morphers, do you ever think that perhaps seeing original footage was about being creative then to cover a scene from Sentai? I think it's maybe a combination of both. I think one, because you're right, there are some really goofy scenes from Super Sentai or violent that just kind of gets glossed over and you get an original footage scene from it. So I do think that there are times when it is that sense of we clearly can't show the Super Sentai footage, so we have to make original footage of our own. And so, other times it really is just creativity. What works for the story it is that we certainly need to tell, right? Like there are certain things from Super Sentai we can nitpick here and there, but I feel like when it comes to Dino Fury, I don't know if it's, I mean, it could be a combination of that's too ridiculous, but I do lean also to the idea of just creatively that creative freedom to tell the story that we want to tell. I think it goes a long way also. So I think it's a combination of both. Can you believe the first episode of Dino Fury, we were immediately introduced to the Morphing Masters? Do we think we'll see them again interacting with the Rangers like this if it's something very jaw-dropping? Yeah, I mean, look, we've got introduced to the Morphing Masters twice already. this is not the last time that we're going to see the Morphing Masters. They clearly play a pivotal role in this season. Granted, whether that be filling in the past, how the Power Rangers powers work, I am definitely expecting more of the Morphing Masters as we go along in this season. Will they be overwhelmingly everywhere this season? Probably not, but I do think when it comes to pivotal explanations or pivotal storylines, I wouldn't be surprised if they do pop up from time to time. Marcelino Vasquez does have a couple questions. Let's see here. I find it weird that Operation Overdrive is still labeled as the worst series of Power Rangers by some. I mean, granted, it's not greatest, but since the Neo Saban era's creation, it's far better than anything from that era, excluding Dino Charge first half, because I would rather watch a season that had a production that cared for the series, gave us characters that were at least half interesting and wanted to tell a compelling story, rather than a season that had a production team that didn't care about the franchise, created one-note stereotypes, and talked down the kids as if they were idiots. At the end of the day, I'm always going to respect people's opinions, but I just find it weird whenever a certain movie or show gets a lot of hate, whenever there's something that is a million times worse. Well, thank you very much for the comment, Marcelino. And I definitely get what you're saying there. Like, I like, for me, I can't even necessarily say when I personally talk about Operation Overdrive, it's just a really forgettable season to me. You know, I don't. Could some people say it's the worst season of Power Rangers? I'm sure there are some people that definitely have their opinions. For me, I don't necessarily know if I would say it's the worst season, so much as I would say it's probably one of my more forgettable ones, you know, in the sense that I just didn't really care for it. Maybe there were certainly some things that were there that were more awe-inspiring, for sure, like you mentioned, right? Attention to detail, the production, things like that, that went into Operation Overdrive compared to other shows like a Samurai or Terrible Ninja Steel season, or you know, others, you know, Mega Force for some people type of thing. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't necessarily know if I would have it as my worst, but probably easily my most forgettable. And while I wouldn't necessarily even categorize it so much as the worst, I think you could probably put it in that category. Like if you did have a group of like low level tier Power Rangers series, it probably would be in that same category, like a Samurai, Ninja Steel, Mega Force type of thing. You know what I mean? Now, whether or not people want to consider it their worst, that's definitely up to them. You know what I mean, Marcelino? So, like I said, you're always going to respect people's opinions, but I get what you're saying. Like, even though people may not be the biggest fan of Operations Overdrive, let's not forget that there were other, unfortunately, terrible seasons out there also. But every season hits people differently, though. For me, it was just a boring, lackluster season, with the exception of the crossover event that we got. But again, it's been a while since I've visited it. So we'll see if it's something that I go back to. You also asked, do you think the abandoned SPD comic storyline where Jake Sky and Bridge, or excuse me, Jack Sky and Bridge create a Red Ranger team could ever return? I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no, Marcelino. Who knows what Ryan Parrott has up his sleeve? We've already seen them dabble in the idea of SPD a little bit in the Power Ranger stuff. Who's to say that somewhere down the line that doesn't get brought back up? So I'm not going to say it's not out of the realm of possibility. It could be. It could eventually pop back up at some point in time. We'll have to see. You also ask, if A+ More Phenomenal and A+ Hero Report were to ever end, how would you end your channels? I don't know. I don't know. Last time our channel was ended for us and terminated for us, so I didn't really get a hearsay in it. This time around, maybe try and bring in some YouTubers from around our fandom maybe an interviewer or two that we've spoken with in the past to kind of commemorate our channels. I don't know. Maybe just maybe do some interviews from time to time to see how my channel has impacted people in their life, or Power Rangers in general, or just the fandom in this niche community or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like have people send in like farewell videos or something like that. You know, thanks Adam for all the years of coverage, you know, that type of thing. Maybe we'll have people send in some shout outs. Maybe we'll go out that way. I haven't really thought about that, Marcelino, but thank you very much for the question. Doomsday's got a couple questions. Do you think that Zox will finally join the Zenkaiger team in future episodes? Ooh, that's a good question. You know, I didn't think that he would, with the Toji Tendo approaching him and giving him a really great ultimatum of trying to get his SD Topia gear that he wants in regards to taking down Zenkaiger in order to get it. I thought that would be what pushed him over to doing it. But now I feel like each episode he is getting closer to being a part of the team. So I do think that he eventually will join the team at some point in time. But I kind of dig him as like the wild card of the group, you know, not sure what route Tokusatsu's ever really going to take. I kind of hope that they keep that suspicious aura about him. But, you know, Kaido's growing on him for sure. So that's a great influence in regards to bringing you into a team. Which Power Ranger season do you think had the best title sequence? I did like Ninja Storms a lot. Yeah, I'll say Ninja Storms because I had Ninja Storm. I really enjoyed Ninja Storms. What color do you like Jason Lee Scott remember as gold, red, or gold? What about Rocky as red or blue? For Jason, gold. I was always a fan of him coming back in Zeo as gold. I absolutely loved it. He just felt much more comfortable to me in his, you know, he gotten older, more experience under his belt, coming back with the black trench coat like fucking Neo from the Matrix, you know, out here like Undertaker and his American Badass, like motorcycle and the motorcycle gloves and stuff, his bandana and things like that. I don't know. I always love the Jason swag as the Gold Ranger. So if I had to choose, definitely Jason is gold. Rocky is all about the blue, man. Rocky's all about the blue. Rocky just felt like cut and paste Austin St. John when he was in the red. Like literally the creators just literally tried to make him as Jason. Like Rocky had no business being in these cut off sleeve t-shirts. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not carrying those guns like Jason was. So there's no reason for this man to be having to wear the same exact clothing. It's like it was just hand-me-downs from Austin's wardrobe. But it wasn't, for me, it really wasn't until Rocky turned into the blue that he really started not only having his own wardrobe, but his own personality. And I feel like really started coming into his own as a character. So I always thought Steve Cardenas was great as Rocky as blue. So if I had to choose Rocky as blue, Jason as gold, I think the person that did red the best probably was JDF and Zeo, but that's just me. Not going to disregard what Jason did as red. I mean, him coming back even in Beast Morphers, for me at least, I thought was pretty epic, and it was great to see him again as red. Like if he is going to come back as anybody, I'm cool with him coming back as red, but I always loved him as gold. All right, guys. I think other than that, I think that is all the questions that we had today in there. So thank you very much. If anything, oh, I'm sorry. Jessica Friedman had a question. She says, hey, Adam, which past Power Ranger spinoff series do you think should have gotten a second season? And would you like to see a new generation of Dino Thunder Rangers mentored by Connor? No, I don't need I'm down without a new generation of Dino Thunder Rangers. He wouldn't even want to come back. So that's definitely out of the question. A Power Ranger series that I think should have gotten a second season. You know, for me, There are quite a few, but I will say I wouldn't have minded to see. Oh, a part of me wants to say in space. And even though it kind of ends on the note like, hey, all the villains in the universe are reverted back, right? Like you've defeated evil. For that following season, I would always love to see what the new threat would have been. Because there's always going to be a new threat of evil out there. I would like to really have seen where it would have come from and continue to see Andros and his sister continue to grow as a family again. I don't know. I really like the characters, and I really love all the design and everything of In Space. So I probably would love to have seen a second season of that for sure. All right, guys. I think other than that, that's all the live viewer questions that we had. If anything, I will go ahead and jump into. We'll get into some of these last minute comments real quick because I do want to show some love to some people that did pop in here. Yusai in the house. What's up, Yusai? Appreciate you coming through today. Oh, Adrian Perez going back to the thing about does the Morphin Grid like select who the person is? Adrian says Mystic Force, for example, Vita did not want to be pink, but she ended up getting pink anyways. And Sky from SPD, he became blue instead of red. Yeah, again, I think going back to the idea that I think the Morphin Grid to a certain extent is pretty sexist. It's like, it just knows your sexuality, and it's like, you're female, we're just gonna give you pink. Boom, put a skirt on you automatically. So it's the Morphin Grid guys gotta talk to, get it out of that sexist mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, be more fluid, Morphin Grid. Get with the times, bro. Adrian says, I felt Tommy as a character was messed up in Ninja Steel. Tommy would never act like a show off, like using the Master Morpher. I just don't think JDF's the best actor in general. So, AJ, do you think Simon listened to the complaints from Beast Morphers in Neo Saban era and decided not to give us holiday episodes as an excuse for recaps? Maybe. I do think that Simon does listen to complaints. Whether or not he executes them all the time, that I don't know. But I definitely do think Simon Bennett's a smart enough man to pay attention to what people complain about and what they don't. Because look, even though we didn't necessarily get like a holiday theme per se, we did get like the recap. Well, it wasn't a recap; it was the holiday special. But the other recap episode, which I still call a recap episode, and a lot of people didn't, was the villain episode when they were trying to, they're pulling up videos and images of past Rangers, past villains and stuff. That just took way too long. Way too long. So Rob says, didn't New Zealand rescind its ban on Power Rangers? That I don't know. So Rob says, this will discredit MMA. That's for certain. Even boxing matches. I don't necessarily know if that's I can see some people being upset with it, boxing and MMA, especially when you're Logan and Mayweather and you just hug each other for the entire match. You know, these people are making a ton of money, and they're making a ton of money off of you people. You know, people that just want to watch that stuff for entertainment. They're making a ton of money off of this stuff for like the most unathletic MMA and boxing matches you'll ever see. If you want real boxing, if you want real MMA, watch real boxing and real MMA. If you just sing like AJ, he says YouTube pranksters, vloggers are doing UFC, MMA with no real experience. I know Logan and Jake Paul only boxers after 1 year of training just for publicity. I think maybe Logan might be actually like really trying to do it, really trying to get into boxing at least. But I mean, you know, I don't even know what his amateur record is right now, or if they're even taking it seriously at this point. I didn't watch it again. I'm not gonna. Why would I spend money to watch Logan or Jake Paul with this inexperience face off against people that are well out of their prime, right? Like Jake Paul, I think he's facing Tyrone Woodley. Like this guy's lost like 3 back-to-back. Ben Askren, I think also, like, he's not a boxer, he's a wrestler. Floyd Mayweather, he's retired, he's old as dirt. I mean, he's still great, you know, but there's no taking away his undefeated record. But, you know, they just played patty cake and hugged each other the entire time. So I definitely is for publicity. Don't get me wrong. It's for publicity and to take money off of people that, you know, want to pay $70 just to watch 2 grown men hug it out and not do anything to each other. So a little bit disappointing, honestly. But I have a feeling that when it comes to Blake and Mike, I mean, if they do have a rivalry, maybe they will go down swinging. Who knows? Datilla says, what if Ion and Zato were brothers? Ooh, that would be interesting, right? We've only heard, I mean, Zato hasn't referenced the idea of having brothers, has he? I mean, he does talk about his mom. We did see his mom flashback from episode 3 when she gives him the, you know, the gem or whatever the case may be. But I don't believe she mentions anything about brothers. So that would be pretty interesting, Datilla, if that's how it wind up coming out. Yusai does say that he hopes that they aren't related. I mean, every time a black leads in the franchise, they always have to be related to the other black person there. It's a gag I trope that I can't stand. I think they can just relate from both having come from the same planet. Zato being more stoic and Ion being more of a free guy would make a great relationship dynamic. I mean, I think you could still do the same thing. I mean, you know, it's like saying, oh, of course they're going to, you know, of course Javi and Izzy are going to be siblings because they're both Hispanic. I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't necessarily see it that way, Yusai. I mean, at least not when it comes to Power Rangers. I get what you're referring to in regards to other franchises, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, when it comes to Power Rangers, I don't look at it that way, but I get what your concern is for sure. But I do like the idea. I mean, they could still both be brothers, but still have the same traits that you're talking about personality-wise of being significantly different. You know what I mean? Power Rangers Legacy. Would you like if JDF's daughter Jenna becomes a Power Ranger, but for her skills as a fighter and actress, not because she's a daughter of Tommy in real life, just like Jaden Smith hatred? Well, listen, the Jaden Smith hatred. I don't know where the Jaden Smith hatred came from. I mean, granted, yes, is he Will Smith's son? Absolutely. Has he been given opportunities? Absolutely. But I think Jaden Smith's actually a pretty good actor when he wants to be. The fact that he was in a Karate Kid movie, it's not like Jaden Smith sat on the sidelines and like let his stunt double do everything. Like, no, this man literally learned stuff from Jackie Chan. So he was more than formidable enough to go ahead and actually fight his own scene. So Jaden Smith puts in the work. He definitely does put in the work. And if Jenna puts in the work, absolutely. Absolutely. As long as it's her, you know, I feel like maybe JDF's been prepping her for this moment. Do I think it will eventually happen? I certainly hope so. But again, if as long as she's been preparing for this her whole life, then yeah, why not? Why not? AJ, would you like to get an original Battleizer in Dino Fury aside from Real Soul Max? I'm okay with Real Soul Max being the only Battleizer. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yusai says, honestly, Rocky gets more respect from me as a Red Ranger in the comics because they addressed that elephant in the room of him looking like an afterthought Red Ranger. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Yusai. From the comic books, most definitely. Because yeah, you're absolutely right. They do address that issue for Rocky, the idea of having to fill somebody else's shoes. You know what I mean? And didn't they have that talk? I believe him and Jason actually had that talk already. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I think the writers knew how fans felt or how they looked at that transition. So I thought it was really cool that they added that. All right, guys. I guess other than that, I think that's probably going to go ahead and do it for us here today, guys. So thank you very much for certainly joining me each and every weekend, guys. I love having you guys in our live chat, in our comments, in our discussions. Again, if you continue to love our content, if you love spending your weekends here, do me a big favor, guys. Hit that like button. That big thumbs up certainly does go a long way. Feel free to certainly share these videos if you certainly like to around in your community. And then, of course, definitely go ahead and continue to leave comments after this video winds up airing. If you have other questions or other things you certainly want to go ahead and continue to talk about or have discussions about, guys. So definitely go ahead and fill up those comment sections. If anything, we certainly will be back with you guys next weekend, so don't worry about that. Again, this weekend, guys, we have June 15th. Dino Fury is returning to Netflix. 3 new episodes. Tuesday, we're going to be dropping episode 9 review. Wednesday will be episode 10, and Thursday will be episode number 11. So definitely go ahead and check it out for you guys. And then next weekend, we will be talking about all 3 of those episodes together and hearing your guys' thoughts in regards to it as well. So it should be for some great content next weekend, to say the least. But guys, other than that, that's going to do it for us here. If you want to go ahead and support the channel in any way, we definitely do have ourselves a Patreon account, patreon.com/A+opinions. Not only do you get exclusive and early access content from A+ More Phenomenal, but our other YouTube page as well, A+ Hero Report. If you're big fans of Marvel, DC, television, movies, Star Wars, etc., we definitely have early access content and exclusive content for you guys on patreon.com/A+opinions. From $1 a month, if you can help out that way, to $5 a month, to $10 a month, whatever certainly works best for you guys. We certainly appreciate all the support here as we continue to grow our channel. We also have a Discord community available for you guys in our $1 tier. So if you want to go ahead and support the channel that way, it certainly goes a long way. If for some reason you're not able to help us out monetarily, subscribe to our channel. That definitely does go a long way. Hitting that like button and, of course, sharing our videos. But if you want to follow us on social media, you can do so right here at A+ Opinions. Very active over on Twitter, along with our main page, which is our Facebook page. And you can also catch us over on Instagram as well as Twitch for you gamers as well. But until next time, guys, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And until next time, keep it A+. I'll see you guys next week. Take care and bye.